Finally got it going. Yay! I was hoping I can get to come join you guys one more time. You know what? Life's going to kind of get back a little bit more to normal tomorrow. Getting back to the swing of things, going back to work and stuff. So I figured I'd hang out with you guys one more time because, to be honest, this is one of my favorite things to do now. Is hang out with you guys and do these live streams. So you guys are please, more than welcome to come through and hang out. Let's shoot the breeze. Got no necessarily particular topic, technically speaking, this evening. I'm just chilling. Wonder where I want to put this at. I never really know. There we go. Something like that would probably work. Yeah, that'll do. But anyway, like I said, got nothing in particular going on this evening. Just wanted to hang out with you guys and shoot the breeze one more time because I'm getting back to normal life. What's up, Em? How you doing, buddy? Really happy to see you, my friend. You know what? I guess I just pop this bad boy like somewhere like that. I never know where I want to put it because it blocks out my stuff. But I've also heard that it's nice to have it in a stream. But like I said, Andrew here, Douglas Moon at the Fragrance Channel. Just want to hang out with you guys and answer some fragrance questions. I ask you guys personally. You guys are always asking me what I prefer for certain seasons or just my favorites. I'd like to know what your favorite fragrances are. So anybody who's popping through, please tell me what you love to wear. What's some of your favorite things to wear during any time of the year for springtime and what have you. Since I usually stream only on Wednesdays and Sundays, I had the opportunity to stream a lot recently because I've had paid time off. But that's all about to change, about to go back to work normal schedule tomorrow and Friday. And then I'll be back on Sunday. But I figured, you know what? I really love doing this with you guys. So, do I have Tomi Iommi Deified? I do not. I didn't like Monkey Special, but I hear Deified was better. I've actually not smelled Deified. I talk about this one fairly often. The original Monkey Special, it's very, very nice. To be honest with you, it almost has like an old lady type of profile to it. Like you've smelled it, so you probably know what I'm saying. But it's just basically like a rich caramel cocoa-y type of fragrance. So it's like almost like bitter chocolate in a way. But it's not something I personally like to wear. But I definitely know like when other people around me wear it, it's really nice. It's just not my style. But I haven't smelled or Tomi Iommi Deified. I don't even know if I'm saying that properly. But that was just definitely not one of my favorites. Lately, though, I've really been enjoying More Than Words, more than I had before. Disappointed me. Now, let's see. What do you think about AFNON 9 p.m.? Thank you for being here, first of all, and for asking questions. I always appreciate anybody stopping through to talk. AFNON 9 p.m. is personally not my favorite. I just not my style. I will say I like other AFNON fragrances, like, for instance, I love the Supremacy Collector's Edition. It's a really nice fragrance. But the 9 p.m. just smells a little too youthful for me and a little too bubblegummy, technically speaking. But one of my buddies at work, he likes to wear the blue one. I think that's 9 a.m. And that one's actually pretty decent, to be honest with you. A little bit more upper in the age range. And are there any fancier choices? Well, most definitely. I mean, so you can kind of crank it up if you was to find something like an Ultra Male. But again, if you're talking about something in the vein of that like 9 p.m. feel, I would steer you towards, where's it at? This guy right here. So this is Rayhan's Lion. So you've probably heard, if you've seen anything, I don't know if you're on TikTok, which I just stopped doing to stay mostly here on YouTube. If you've seen anybody like Cal Cologne, he has this bad boy, which is, give me just a second. So there's the Cal Cologne edition, Rayhan Tiger. But if you've ever heard about Rayhan Lion, it's supposed to be similar to like an Ultra Male feel by Jean Paul Gaultier. And it definitely carries that, but it's a little bit on that nice, mature side. By the way, I'm not doing this to look cool. I'm just doing this so you guys can see me a little bit better. I'm in Iraq. It's rare to find original fragrances. Ooh, well, not that you're in Iraq, but the fact that it's hard to find fragrances. Sorry about that. Astra recommended me your channel. Off Guard. Super happy to see you then here, buddy. I appreciate you stopping through. And you can tell Astra I said, what's up? If I don't know if he's here or not, or if he's going to get a chance to pop in, but I appreciate you coming through. That makes me happy. And dedication. Oh yeah, definitely. I love perfumery. This is my like favorite particular personal hobby in the world. Used to be walking, but I love this. Thoughts on Stronger with You. So the Parfum is my favorite edition. I do have a sample bottle, a travel bottle of the Intensely. So Intensely is very nice. The Parfum is my favorite. I like the way that they do the Mandarin with the pink pepper and the way it goes with that chestnut accord. But Intensely second place, then Absolute. That's actually not true. So Parfum, and then the Sandalwood. I don't know if you guys have gotten the opportunity to. Not a lot of people that I've talked to have smelled it, but it is not in like your usual department stores, at least not for now. But the Stronger With You Sandalwood is an extremely wonderful smell, but the Parfum is personally my favorite. I subscribe, definitely cool. Thank you. I really appreciate that, buddy. And also to my other friend here, who, let me see who said that, Ross. Cool last name, by the way. I don't want to butcher it, so I'm not going to try to say it, but, well, I guess I will. Malinowski, something like that. Thank you for complimenting the tattoos. I appreciate that. And thank you, Texel, for taking the time to subscribe to my channel. It means a lot. Hey again, do you like Dior Sauvage DNA type fragrances? Anthony, thank you for coming back through. So I definitely am a Dior fan in general, but also I like Dior Sauvage in and of itself. I haven't really smelled any like dupes or clones or anything along those lines, like, different takes on the DNA, but this is, I used to have the Eau de Parfum. I gave it away as a gift. This is the Eau de Toilette. It's really nice if you want just a classic, but it's not something I personally wear. I know the bottle looks like it's almost empty, but I was gifted it by a friend. This is the Elixir, but I will tell you, okay, so this is the only one that I have something that has a similar DNA to, and I'll show you that one in a second. I did a review for it the other day, but I haven't posted it yet because it's on my schedule. The Parfum is my favorite version of Dior Sauvage. So, by the way, if you're new here, just letting you know, I ramble. I like to talk, as you can tell, and I absolutely love fragrances. But I try my best to keep up with you guys' questions or statements. But I also want you to know that I don't want to just be some douchebag who gives you like a one word or like a 2-word answer. So to most things, I kind of just want to be in depth with you and get to the point if I can. But yeah, Sauvage Parfum, definitely one of my personal favorites. But if you want something that's similar to the Sauvage Elixir, this is Guisada's Ambassador. It's a Swiss company, Guisada, the Ambassador Intense. This actually, don't get the original Guisada Ambassador because they're totally different vibes altogether. But this one is very similar. It's not as dense, like as thick, but it's almost the same type of smell profile that you would get from Dior Sauvage's Elixir. It's a really good performer as well. But unlike Dior Sauvage Elixir, this one, and you can see they even tried to do a similar bottling style. This one actually, for me personally, I think was like $80, something like that, if you get it off of a discounter. So not a bad choice. Good afternoon, Jason. Thanks for being here. And that's a fantastic scent of the day, by the way, the Cedar Bois. Melora, thank you for popping through. I appreciate you guys coming to hang out. Is Yves Saint Laurent, why Eau de Parfum the best? I will pull that up for you real quick right here. So, of all Yves Saint Laurent fragrances, again, it's just my wife's opinion, but she actually, that one is her favorite personally. She calls this the snuggle smell because it's just very soft, beautiful, like grapefruity apple type of feel. And when I very first got this last year, when my wife smelled it, she was like, I'd like you to wear that when we snuggle. So we always call this the snuggle smell. I never wear it for any other purposes except for that. But yeah, Guisada Titanium. I actually haven't tried that one, Easton, but thank you for popping through and asking. But yeah, this is a really good one for the budget, for what it's worth. And it's also pretty decently strong. You tried Office or Date for Men, The Breaker. Thank you for asking. And I personally can say I've not tried any of Jeremy fragrances myself. I just have it because they're kind of honestly pretty expensive. Not that, it's not like I don't spend money on fragrances when I get the chance to. But for the most part, I've just heard different mixed things about him. But I guess I'd like to at some point. Nothing against Jeremy Fragrance himself. He's funny to watch or what have you. But and I hope the best for the dude. But yeah, definitely I haven't tried any of his fragrances. As another thing, just want to tell you guys ahead of time, not only do I like to talk a lot and ramble, and not only do I like to try to stick to everybody's questions if I can, as well, I also will tell you if there's something I haven't personally tried. But I'm trying to build a community here with you guys where as well we can all help each other out. So if there's anything I don't know, I'd really appreciate it if you see somebody ask about a fragrance and I say I've never smelled it or something like that. Please, by all means, you help them out if you have. So do you have Mont Blanc Explorer? Real quick, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Thanks for clearing us out. Does Lattafa Assad really smell like Elixir? Because I didn't like Assad at all. I will say this. Lattafa Assad is mildly, it's very in the same vein as Dior Sauvage Elixir, but definitely doesn't perform as good. It performs good for a cheaper fragrance. It does perform pretty well. I ended up giving my bottle away because I just love the original too much. And not that there aren't really good dupes out there, But for me personally, I think that Latafa Aside is one of those ones that's kind of, you know, overblown on like TikTok and stuff like that, just because, you know, a lot of people are sponsored. So I like Latafa for the most part. But, you know, again, I pay for everything that I have. So nobody's paying me to do this. And I want you guys to spend your money and be happy with what you bought. So if I tell you something, again, my opinion is my opinion. So take that with a grain of salt, but I just try to keep it real with you. To Matthew Lansdowne, cool name, Mont Blanc Explorer. I don't have it anymore. I did a video on it a long time ago, but I had Mont Blanc Explorer and Mont Blanc Explorer Platinum. They're pretty decent, but I ended up giving them both away as a gift. Just not my style. Any Arabian perfumes? Kind of depends what you mean by that. Like general Middle Eastern perfumery, I've got a whole bunch of Amawages and then some Arabian infused like oil style Xerjoffs down at the bottom from the Alchemy set. These are all Middle Eastern perfumes and dupes, but if you're talking about like very specific Arabian perfume oils, I've been around them. I don't have any myself. They are fantastic though, especially the way that they handle oud is, I personally think, better done than what you'll get out of a lot of fragrances that you'll come across in like a store, but that's just me. What is a good, adorable summer fragrance? Adorable summer fragrance. That's a little bit tough because I would think if you're trying to go for like an adorable feel, probably something along the lines of like Initio's Paragon will be pretty nice. I think that the new Eros Energy has a playfulness to it because it's that woodsy lemon feel, but it's more like a lemon candy. So I don't know. Some of them are a little, that's a pretty good question actually. It makes me think in a way that I haven't really before about certain fragrances. Because normally somebody asks me what's something that's pretty good, masculine or feminine. I think as well, I might would steer somebody to Stronger With You Parfum because it has like a playfulness with that pink pepper and that mandarin. So double tap the screen. Oh, hey, Astro. What's up, buddy? Super happy to have you here. Stronger With You is very good for summer. Yes, it is. To SJRWF, a site, I use Side Effect. I paid 260 euros. Is it cheap or not? No, Side Effect is a really good fragrance. It's actually one of my wife's, when I had her on another live stream do a top 10 for me, like top 10 fragrances that she personally enjoys. Initio Side Effect is one of the ones that she personally chose. I didn't see summer. Hold on, thanks, Matthew Lehman. Do you have any Burberry London perfumes? Burberry London. So I've got Burberry Hero, and I think it's the Eau de Parfum. Is it the Eau de Parfum? Let me see real quick. Yeah, I got the Burberry Hero Eau de Parfum. My wife was actually obsessed with this one for a while. I think Adam Driver was the dude behind this, but to be honest with you, I have literally only worn this once, and it was to test it out just to see how it was for the video. Excuse me. I wore it 3 different times sprayed on the skin because typically when I'm going to do an actual review video, I want to try something multiple times, different days to see how it does. But I've only worn this once as like an actual fragrance that I really want to wear. So it's not bad. It's just not my personal style. A lot of these fragrances here, this is why I want to encourage people. Like I'm a content creator, so that's the reason I built up this collection in particular to do reviews. But if you're not doing reviews or anything or trying to go down that road, which again, I don't encourage you to do unless you're like super, super passionate about it and you're sure that's what you want. For most normal people, please don't strive to have a collection like this because it's completely unnecessary. I want to encourage you guys, not that anybody asked, but again, I rant. It's my channel. I'm welcome to do that. You guys can keep commenting in the meantime. But I personally, and you guys are welcome to have your own little conversations while I'm talking too if you don't want to pay attention. But I definitely say for most normal people, if you don't do reviews, probably try not to have more than 10 to 15 fragrances because, again, it's kind of difficult for you to, you get a little confused sometimes like what you even really want to wear. But let's see. What's up, everyone? TT Fragrance. Thank you for being here, buddy. Appreciate you coming. And real quick, I had one, but I forgot what it's called. You should sample the House of Oud Dates Delight, Sweet Arabian style. Thank you, Gerald, for letting me know that. I really appreciate the help. Do you have oud? Not pure oud, so I don't have any pure actual oud in and of itself, but I do got some oud fragrances if you'd like to ask me about those. That's totally fine. Does Spice Bomb Extreme still live up to the hype and last long? So, Muhammad, thank you for asking. So I will say this, I did a review for this not very long ago and posted it on my channel. If you guys ever want to go check out my actual review videos, it'd be very helpful to support me to keep growing and be able to do more of these for you guys, like actual reviews and stuff. But I will say Spice Bomb Extreme is a powerful fragrance in and of itself. It has really good, strong opening. It's like a choker, I like to think of it as. But I will say, in comparison to like fragrances that I prefer, especially as I have eczema and tattoos and stuff, I need some specific level of density. Doesn't mean it has to be like a dense, rich, like gourmand fragrance. But me personally, I need something that's made with a good bonding agent. And this one stays to the skin moderately okay. It's not like it's going to last all day. Now, again, it might be different for you personally. Your hormones might latch onto it. But yeah, Victor and Rolf Spice Bomb, it's pretty good, the Extreme, but it's just not my personal taste. And the performance isn't like a monster or anything. But at first, it does kind of come off that way. Love this guy's energy. Looks like Logic. I appreciate that. I always forget what Logic looks like. A lot of people say that to me. So here's what I hear normally. I've heard people say that I look like Logic. I've heard people say that I look like, and this is my favorite one personally. This is the one I like the most. But I've heard people say that I look like, without the hair, when Shrek became a human man. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you know, I've heard it before. I thought it was a compliment or whatever. Maybe they meant when he was still an ogre. I hope not. And I've also heard that I look like Rosie O'Donnell's stepchild, which kind of made sense if they didn't say stepchild, because then it was okay. But you know, it is what it is. But I appreciate you guys coming through. It means a lot to me. You guys, is there any good affordable summer fragrances? So there is, depending on what you mean by affordable. So I'm gonna toss these at you real fast. If you're looking for a decent price range, you know, if you're looking for like the more dupes and clones price range, these guys are all around that $30 to $35. So this is the take on, I don't know if you can see, you can't see it behind here, but I'll pull it out in a second. This the Le Beau Le Parfum by Jean Paul Gaultier. This is Hod Lodge's Island. It's very much that tropical pina colada with some sweetness and density behind it. To me personally, doesn't perform as quite as bonding and deeply as the original Le Beau Le Parfum, and I always love that one more. Still really good. This one's for if you're really trying to stand out and make a statement. A little bit more powerful. This is Azure Oud by French Avenue. And then this one over here, and it's supposed to be like Oud Maracuja. This one right here is Hod Lodge's Island Vanilla Dunes by the same company as this. I will say, on the other hand, if you don't mind spending a little bit of extra cha-ching, just like an extra $10 or so, you can get Eagle Star. This is my new Altair favorite take by Sensual Obsessions. These guys are fantastic. And this one, I think, is like $40, I think, something along those lines. This is a 30 mil, but it's extremely powerful. And I always love showing off these guys' atomizers. It's super strong. Fantastic. Can't go wrong with that. But there's a handful of other ones, but it also depends, again, like I said, on your price range. So let's see what you guys got going here. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue is only $35 on Joma Shop. That's true. That's true. Some people don't like it. What about you? What's your thoughts on that? By the way, again, if I miss out any of you guys' comments, please, by all means, don't bother. Don't mind re-commenting. If you got something you really, excuse me, want me to answer, then I definitely do that. By the way, forgive me. Me and my wife literally just went down the road to our in-laws' house and had like way too much delicious. I'm not going to tell you what we ate because you guys probably make fun of us, but it was really good food, and I had way too many peanut butter cookies after. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty obsessed with cookies, especially peanut butter cookies. I'll do real quick to answer my other buddy's question. I like oud, but only if it's blended a certain way or depending how it was processed. A lot of people don't know this, but when oud is extracted and then processed and run through, there's different ways to do it. And one of them uses a certain type of, I believe, metallic solvent. And from what I've learned and been told, one way makes it produce almost like a smoothness, and the other way gives it that very animalic type of fragrant profile to it. A lot of people actually, when they're getting into ouds, probably, especially depending on what they can afford, are exposed to that more animalic feel instead of that more luxurious, expensive, and smoothness to it. If an oud is that more smooth type of feel, I mean, even if it's not, if it was very well done, but blended very well, I can enjoy it. One of my favorites, although again, the oud is not something I personally go for and something I wear. One of my favorites, though, is Silver Oud by Amouage. This is a very excellently done fragrance. And then as well, if you want something that's, I hate this word, but if you want what they call a cheesy oud fragrance, again, not at all a fan of that terminology for a fragrance, but Hayat by Xerjoff. This is, my wife despises this fragrance, and she says it's the worst one that I have, just because she hates that overall profile. But I will say, it kind of, in some strange way, grows on you, like to your actual, literally, like your animal nature. Something about this is nice, but it's that very stinky type of oud. So, not really my style, but I like oud when it has been blended with rose. That's when I love it the most, because rose, it seems to be absolutely perfect with offsetting that little bit of harshness. But let me go through here real quick. Do you think there's other beast mode fragrances? Hold on, let me try to see if I can keep up with you guys. I appreciate all the comments, by the way. It means a lot to me. Twice the amount of Sauvage Elixir. I do love Sauvage Elixir. I just dropped a video on how Drake Summer Mink from Ulta for free. Heck yeah, buddy. Go check out my buddy over here at TT Fragrance. So, Do you think there's other beast mode fragrance that lasts long and has good sillage? Absolutely. Absolutely. So really good, strong fragrances. One of my top 5 favorite fragrances of all time. Oud Silk Mood, the Extrait de Parfum. This is a pricey fragrance, but this is obviously, as you can see, Maison Francis Kirkjohn. He absolutely doesn't miss when it comes to making powerful fragrances. Usually, I'd say that a lot of fragrances people call beast mode still require roughly 6 or so sprays to really make it like bound off of you. This is one of the few fragrances I've ever come across that actually has that power where it only needs like literally about 4 sprays and then you're blowing off the hinges. So Oud Silk Mood is basically, I would say, probably the strongest fragrance that I have as far as like density, longevity, and performance. But as well, you can get a lot of work out of Eros Parfum. Fantastic choice. Let me think about what else I got that's honestly like a real monster. So this one really snuck up on me, to be real with you. Bianco Latte by Giardini di Toscana. Very fantastic fragrance that actually sticks to the skin and bonds very, very well. It's like a beautiful vanilla waffle cone. Beautiful vanilla waffle cone fragrance. And as well, I saw my buddy here mentioned Amouage's Interlude. Let me make sure I'm not missing you here. Absolutely. This is very addicting, but you got to remember that's not for everybody. Black Iris is back there. That's my personal favorite of the bunch. And then Interlude Man, and then Interlude, what was it, 53? I actually just did a review video the other day. If you guys wouldn't mind, after this, going and throwing a little support my way, just give it a watch. I think it's like 8 minutes, something like that, 10 minutes long. Kind of comparing them both and saying whether or not it'd be worth having both of them, or if you just should just have one. Because I would appreciate it and like you guys to go watch that video. I'm not going to answer that right now, but probably in a week from now, I'll talk about that more on a live stream. But Interlude is definitely an extremely powerful fragrance. Most everything you get from Xerjoff, I would say also my other most beastly fragrance that I have is going to be Opera by Xerjoff. You spray this on, and it is one of the loudest things I've ever worn in my entire life, and I love it. So let me try to keep up with you guys real quick. Sorry for getting behind. Baru, I think I said your name right. I know, no offense if I said that wrong. Forgive me. I will say this. I have not. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. It's a pretty decent fragrance. But for me, so definitely I got the O Intense Light Blue Pour Homme right here. The original light blue. The O Intense is my favorite. And then as well behind here, you can't see it right now, but the Dolce & Gabbana Capri in Love is definitely, the new formulation is really, really nice. So what's my thoughts about Kilian line? I like Black Phantom. I like Moonlight in Heaven. I will say this. I like the Apple Brandy. I am not a fan. I've got a bottle down there and I already did a review for it. I'm very much not much of a fan of the Angel Share. I know everybody loves it, but for me personally, it's just way too much of a overly syrupy type of fragrance. So it's not bad. It's just not my style. And then to the rest of you guys, Versace Pour Homme is a pretty solid choice. Definitely a good freshie. Thanks for recommending this channel. Hey, no, thank you for coming here off guard and Astro. I really appreciate you guys so much because, like I said, it's not like I'm a professional anything. I love fragrances. I had the opportunity to build a collection not very long ago, much more than what I used to have. And I always want to do reviews. And just to say this real fast, and I'm going to try to get back to you guys' comments. Again, if I ever miss anything, but one of you guys can help somebody else out, please feel free to do so because it's my channel, but it's not all about me. But yeah, I basically started this channel literally because I just got tired of when I wanted to learn about fragrances. I had a handful of times where I bought something off of somebody's recommendation, and it's not just that fragrances are subjective, but I learned pretty fast that when people are receiving free things or getting paid, they will say things are awesome or perform a way that they really don't. And so I just wanted to do a channel where I can just be more of like a normal guy who tells you guys the truth to the best of my ability. So it means the world to me if y'all come listen, because I'm going to be real with you guys. As far as I'm pretty sure, I think it's probably kind of boring for a lot of folks. And that's just how I feel about it. But I have a good time doing it. Yeah, and if you guys hit the like button, I appreciate that. And yes, Eros Flame is an extremely powerful fragrance. It's not like a super duper beast mode, but it does last an extremely good amount of time during the daytime. And I love it. The blood orange really offsets the original take on it compared to the bergamot. But Eros Parfum, definitely my favorite. Oh yeah, he walked out that store, didn't he? Let me see if I can keep up with you guys. Uh-oh, I got a little behind. Should I get JPG Le Beau or Le Beau Le Parfum? Get Le Beau Le Parfum for sure, buddy. Have you tried Ombre Leather? Oh, don't even get me started. In my top 10 favorite fragrances, I think I ranked this around number 6 or 7, I believe. Ombre Leather Parfum is one of my absolute favorites of all time. It's just beautiful, luxurious leather and sandalwood. if I had to choose one of the most calming fragrances in the universe, it would probably be this one. I like the Eau de Parfum, but this one's my favorite. I'm sorry, I do not have any Nichane. I've tried some, and they're really good fragrances, but I don't own any. So I had the opportunity to sample some the other day, actually, but I don't have any. And I don't give thoughts on fragrances that I've never actually tried multiple times and seen how it performs, because I don't want to guide you guys in the wrong direction. But again, I want to have a trustworthy community here. And again, I'm sorry if I repeat myself a lot for people who are sitting here watching for a long time, but I want new people to come through to know. If you see somebody else that is talking about something but I haven't heard of it, please tell them the deal. I'm really lost between Mancera's Instant Crush, Eros Flame, and Spice Bomb Extreme. What do you suggest for? Oh, I'm going to go ahead and send you down the road of Eros Flame. Reason so, Mancera's Instant Crush would have been my second choice for you personally, but it is excessively powerful and not for everybody. So just being completely honest with you, Instant Crush by Mancera is not something that just everybody should have. Maybe as I got down here, the Club de Nuit Untold might be a better choice because it's a little bit less strong and less dense, still carrying that mild Baccarat Rouge feel. But for you guys, I would definitely send you towards Eros Flame because it's powerful, it's strong, but it also smells very nice and luxurious. So go with that one. But again, that's just my opinion. Black Musk, ever heard? If that's a specific fragrance, I haven't. Is YSL Myself a good summer fragrance? Yeah, I think so, especially YSL Myself, the Parfum Edition. And it's good to see you guys helping each other out. It makes me very happy. Ombre leather is amazing, but doesn't really last that long. The Parfum Edition really lasts very well for me personally. So again, it's different for everybody, but I have a handful of people who I've let try this out. And for me personally, I definitely get all day performance, but it's not a bomb. Not every fragrance was meant to be explosive. And this one definitely lasts very well compared to a lot of Tom Fords actually do suck as far as longevity is concerned, unfortunately, especially since reformulations and so forth and being bought out. But the Parfum of Ombre Leather for me lasts very long on the skin. It just becomes a very nice, subtle leather sandalwood fragrance. But in and of itself, that's kind of what this was made for. It wasn't meant to be explosive, similar to like Noir Extreme or Ebon Fume. Those are good fragrances as well, by the way. MFK Gentle Silver. I actually don't have that one, but I have smelled it, and it is incredible. So what's your favorite imagination inspiration? Thank you, Billy, for stopping through and asking, just to put this out there. I'm not a big fan of Louis Vuitton fragrances. No problem if you guys like them. I just want to be honest up front. I think that just personally, I think that they are a little bit overhyped. They're very expensive. They're very overpriced for their scent profiles. So I don't even mess with dupes of that fragrance house. But again, just want to tell you that, so I don't have any thoughts to give you, and I don't want to steer you in any fake directions. But yeah, just saying again, Louis Vuittons, a lot of people have been asking me about them lately. I know they're very popular on TikTok, but they're just not my personal style. So no offense to anybody out there. What's the strongest fragrance you got? Breaker? That would be Oud Silk Mood by Maison Francis Kirkjohn. This is the Extract de Parfum. As well, Interlude by Amouage, especially the 53 edition. That's 53% fragrance oil. And then I always kind of steer people back to Sauvage Elixir or Initio Side Effect. Very powerful fragrances. How's things, Douglas? Mohammed? Very fantastic. Super happy to see you here, buddy. Do you musk? I personally do not. I had white musk, like pure white musk at one point as a raw material. It was like way too strong for me. But yeah, some people do go Nuzzblind. Have you tried anything from Gisai? I have not. It's probably a niche brand, but I have not tried any. But thank you for suggesting. Is Apple Brandy on the Rocks fresh summer fragrance? Kind of, sort of. And you could definitely wear it during the summertime, but it kind of leans towards fall. But wear whatever you want, whenever you want, to be honest with you. So between Fendi TV, I'm going to steer you towards Grand Soir. Definitely my top 5 favorite fragrances of all time. And even though it's an eau de parfum, it's a very strong, long-lasting fragrance. That's probably true, I guess. Maybe others notice. Pacific Chill and City Star is pretty good, but I'd never pay $350. Me either, personally. Dupes with Louis Vuitton don't make sense because the scents aren't that extravagant. So that's another thing, Fendi, like what you just said. So no offense to anyone who likes that Louis Vuitton DNA. But like I said, for me personally, they are not necessarily speaking the most unique fragrances. They're decent. But like when you think Ombre Nomad, I think is what it's called, is the only one that really speaks to me, especially because it has a rose feel in certain parts of the composition. I love rose. The fragrance that I'm having made for me right now is very strong on the rose, and I cannot wait to get it. I'm freaking out, excited. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 2 weeks 2 or 3 weeks, something along those lines, and then mine's coming in. But definitely like very rose heavy, and I'm very excited for that. But other than that, most of the rest of them just aren't my style from that company. What do you think of the new Stronger With You Parfum and the Spice Bomb Leather? So to be honest with you, Stronger With You Parfum was the only Stronger With You that I actually decided to pull the trigger and get a full bottle on. And as soon as I smelled it, I thought, this is fantastic. I have, excuse me, done sample bottles, like travel bottles of the Intensely and Absolutely. I think back then, Intensely was my favorite. Sandalwood as well. If you get the chance to find Stronger With You Sandalwood somewhere, awesome fragrance. But the pink pepper and mandarin blended with those little bits of leather notes, and then the praline and or chestnut accord that's in this, definitely Stronger With You Parfum is my favorite of the bunch. I think it's really nice, and especially for the price you pay at the concentration of fragrance profile oils in this, very nice. Have you tried any Zarhoff fragrances? I have not, but what I really want to get my hands on, 100%. But as far as Spice Bomb Leather, by the way, I haven't smelled it, so I don't want to tell you anything that's not true. But it might be good. I have not tried any Zarhoffs, but I definitely want to get my hands. I believe they make a black rose, and since again, like I said, I love roses. Really want to get a bottle, but the full size bottle of that is sold out currently on their website, and I don't necessarily trust the other sites it seems to be selling on right now, at least from where I saw it. An Ombre Nomad, definitely a good fragrance in and of itself. 5D, I have not tried. Sorry if I pronounced your name improperly, no disrespect. I have not tried Midnight Oud. Prefer Bond Number 9. Yeah, Bond Number 9 is a decent enough fragrance house from what I've heard, but I keep letting you guys know that I personally haven't really given them much of a shot. Stronger With You Sandalwood is amazing, lasts forever. Yes, it does. And TT Fragrances, hey man, thank you for popping through. Means the world to me. As always, want to make this excessively clear. My channel doesn't mean anything in the world if it isn't for you guys coming through and hanging out, watching the videos, and talking. So I am endlessly grateful whenever you guys come and talk about fragrances with me, because it just means a lot that you're even willing to do so when you could be doing something totally different right now. So thank you for coming through. If you guys, like I said, have any questions now that I'm finally caught up, please feel free to ask, and we're going to hang out for a while longer. Vulcan Few. Wait, hold on. Let me see. Make sure I'm keeping it. Vulcan Few or Scepter Malachite? Good question. Very good question. I'm not the biggest fan of this DNA. I also will be the first person to continue, not the first person, but I will continue to beat this horse over and over again, that these fragrances are massively overhyped. And also this one in particular is brand new, but very much people are paying money that they shouldn't be paying. A fella told me earlier he paid $70 for this, and the performance is very much not there. God of Fire's performance sucks, for especially the price you pay. So in comparison, I'd rather you get one of these. But these guys as well are not the bombs that people, like other influencers, keep telling you they are. But if I had to choose between them, crazy part is they're like exactly the same, like literally the same. This one's cheaper. I'd probably steer you towards Malachite, because I'm gonna be straight up with you. I've tried them both, and they basically got equal performance. So for me personally, what I like, they're disappointing. But again, just my opinion, just letting it be known. But I think I'm probably going to steer you towards Malachite. I will say Mango Bliss is a fragrance that I tried to order multiple times. If for some reason they just couldn't get it to my house, and returned it like 3 or 4 times. So I've heard that that one's the best of the bunch. But again, I can't say that for sure because I haven't tried it. But if you had to pick, I like this bottle more, but since they smell exactly the same and this one's cheaper, probably Malachite. But again, that's just my personal opinion. So no offense to anybody who disagrees. Let's see. Oh no, we about made a boo-boo, y'all. About made a big old boo-boo. About did it again too, didn't I? Uh-oh. See, this is what I get for like using these microphones. I never used to use them until somebody told me I constantly sounded like I was screaming through a wind tunnel. So I just got these microphones, but you had to put these doofy little receptors down at the bottom and then balance your phone. And I'm not cool enough to have a selfie stick. So, but yeah, definitely Malachite's Homachi. It smells amazing. I have everything other than Signature Tobacco. Huh. Well, thank you guys for suggesting that. I definitely have to check them out. I have to go now, but you earned a sub. Well, you know what, dude? Not only am I grateful when you guys come to watch, even if you don't subscribe or come back ever again, super happy when you guys are here and ask questions about fragrances or just chill. But also, if you do subscribe, that means the world to me. So thank you. I appreciate you so much for doing that. And I send nothing but love and blessings your way, buddy. Do I have Afnan 9 p.m.? I do not. I used to a long time ago. It was really decent, but it smells just too overly youthful and bubblegummy for me personally. Gave it away as a gift. It's not bad. It's not bad at all, but it definitely has a very synthetic-y, cheaper feel, which can be okay. But after 9 p.m. is not for me. A friend of mine has the blue bottle. I think it's after 9 a.m. So that one I like a little bit more. But again, it's just my personal opinion. I love how you keep it real. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. How many decide? Okay, well, I'm not going to answer that question because that's inappropriate, and I'm not going to. I don't like to entertain that kind of stuff on my channel because every now and then there's some youngsters who come through here and hang out. So yeah, if you ever type anything inappropriate in my stuff, even if I might laugh and joke about it if we were like hanging out in the real world, I'm not going to do that here because again, there's different types of folks who come through here, and I try to be respectful. So just throwing it out there. Do you have opinions about Most Wanted by Night? I think it's very decent. It's not my style, but I do think it's decent. But yeah, Ruben, thank you so much for subscribing. Like I said, I know I'm a broken record when people subscribe, but it really does mean the world to me, and I'm not saying it just for fun. So you guys really help keep me going. Right now, for the summer, using Eros EDT. Good choice, good choice. I prefer Eau de Parfum. Invictus Victory, not as well a good choice. Mancera's Red Tobacco does wonders. I got the Red Tobacco Intense. Fantastic, fantastic fragrance. Excuse me. What is a way to build my cologne collection for a budget? That's tough. That is a tough one because I really would rather you. I don't want to get too hung up on this because I keep seeing you guys add comments and I want to keep up with it. But I will say, please don't just try to build to start with just a big collection. It's useless. It really is, unless you are going to be a reviewer. It is absolutely redundant to have a large fragrance collection because what are you going to do with it? To be real with you, whether you believe me or not, and that's okay if you don't. If you really want to have a lot just to have a lot and just have your nose on different fragrances, that's cool. But you could also just go as often as possible to the nearest fragrance store. And I'm not saying anybody said they want to have a lot. But I just like to encourage you guys that unless you are going to be doing this kind of stuff, try not to go more than 10 to 15 fragrances because you're only going to be able to express yourself so many ways that are meaningful to you. And perfumery is definitely supposed to be a way that you personally express yourself, but not just for you, but other people around you, whether it's your partner or your friends, family, kids, whoever, to attach memories of you personally to a fragrant profile. So definitely just want to encourage you guys to try not to go overboard with that. But again, just my opinions. Best mind games. I cannot remember the name. But for me personally, I just tried the whole entire series the other day, and there's one that smelled very caramelly. So I don't remember what it's called, but that one was my absolute favorite. Very strong caramel scented mind games. And I'm going to get the Discovery set soon from the place I went for that event, and it was fantastic. Hope I find something as strong as that for the summer too. And then what's the best Initio? To me personally, it's a tie between, because I love rose fragrances and I think they did pretty okay. I would say probably Atomic Rose, Side Effect, Blessed Baraka, and Paragon. If you had me to choose between the entire bunch, I'm probably going to go Side Effect because it's mass appealing and fantastic. So do I support LGBTQ? Well, I mean, it doesn't really have a lot to do with this stream, but if you want to know the truth, I definitely support people of all walks of life being able to live freely in this world, being able to be themselves, especially the way they see themselves and feel about themselves. I will say that my personal belief system has a long tradition of disagreeing with that as a whole to some extent or another, but there's all types of up in the air arguments and debates as to how that developed over time. As is. So not necessarily my place to fully speak on that kind of stuff, other than the fact that my family and my life has been full of people who are LGBTQ+, and I have no disrespect towards anybody of that walk of life, nor do I wish any bad on anybody from there, or all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So no, I'm not anti or anything like that, if that makes sense. But I also want to make it clear that I do talk about my faith from time to time, and so when I say that, that comes with a lot of baggage and assumptions from people. So think what you will about me, but I do talk about my beliefs. You have no idea what you're talking about. Level Up Dojo. Okay, sure. That's your personal opinion. Thanks for dropping through. And no need to stick around. Picked up Invictus Elixir today. Fantastic. I definitely want to get my nose on that. I prefer the old bad boy up there, the 1 million Elixir. But Invictus is a pretty good DNA. YSL EDP or Le Parfum, wasn't a fan of the Intense. Personally, YSL EDP. That's the one I prefer the most. This dude got a neck tat but sells perfume. I don't sell perfumery, to be honest with you. I actually just do a YouTube channel where I review perfumes. As you can see, there's my little button up there. I don't sell them, but maybe one day, who knows? But there's nothing wrong with having neck tattoos and doing perfume. So Hey, and if you don't like it, that's okay. Nobody's making you stay. You can start with arm off. Yeah, so that's one thing I do want to clarify just really fast though. So again, I'm trying not to encourage people to build a huge entire collection because it genuinely is a waste of time. If anybody thinks they should have one, you might want to sit back and think about if that's responsible or not. But I will say this, if you're going to start building one, try to take it little bits at a time. Don't just buy everything cheap just to have a lot of fragrances, because that's not going to really do you any good and have any fragrances of real substance and composition. Save your money as you can and buy your Xerjoffs and your Amouages and your Mind Games. But as well, don't mind featuring things like French Avenue and Latafos and stuff like that. So let's see if I'm missing anything. Budget friendly. I don't speak Russian or Ukrainian. I'm not sure what that is. Trying to get a sweet formal fragrance for the wintertime. Any recommendations leaning stronger with you? I will definitely, is it just me or is it bottles even if they're empty because it's cool? There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with keeping bottles just because you like the way they look. I might do that too if I had a space for them. But it's going to take me forever to even burn through these in the first place. With that being said, the original, I don't know what you were talking about there. Sorry, I got a little lost here just for a second because they keep popping up. So if I can, okay, so back to Ricardo. Formal sweet fragrances for the wintertime. Well, it depends on exactly how sweet you want, because I could recommend to you Versace Eros Parfum. The Parfum edition is a very dense, sweet, bergamot, creamy, vanilla, woodsy feel. Very strong, but also very good. In a way, to me, it smells a little bit regal, but it's not also too expensive. This one's actually very nice if you like leather. So this is the Valentino's Uomo Intense, not the Born in Roma. It's black going across instead of pink. Valentino's Uomo Intense is a very, very nice choice because it's like a nice, dense, creamy leather fragrance. Strong, like it lasts long, but it's not bleeding off of you, and it's very sweet and good for the fall, wintertime area, something like that. But if you're also leaning towards stronger with you Parfum, kind of would keep you in that direction to start with, unless you wanted something more like the Hod Lodge's Vanilla Islands, Vanilla Dunes, which is a tape on out there. Let's see. Opinion of Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette. I think it's pretty good. So I have it here. A buddy gave me the rest of what was going to be an empty bottle the other day. It's nice. It's very classic. I prefer the Parfum edition or the Eau de Parfum, but I will say that even for Eau de Toilette, this one actually has pretty doggone good performance to it. And I think for a youngster just getting started out, it's nice to have that to your collection. So I agree. Save your money. Absolutely. What's up with Willem Dafoe? Oh, and Fendi, I'm about to answer you about the Amouage. Just going to get back to you in just a second. Michael, appreciate your comment. So with the Willem Dafoe thumbnail, I always say William, but it's Willem. I just like putting stupid meme pictures as my thumbnails, to be honest with you. I don't know what else to do half the time. So when I do these live streams, I like the picture of Willem Dafoe and his family, or like him as the faces of the family. So I want to get into Oud Parfum. There's definitely a handful of them that I could suggest for you that I think are some of the better ones you can go for as far as like buyable ones off of the market. But rating Amouages really quickly while I'm still trying to keep up with you guys. For me, Reflections Man is the best one, in my personal opinion. There is a higher concentration, but I will say, even though that one's very nice, a lot of people already compare that to your, here you go, these bad boys right here. A lot of people tend to compare those rascals to those guys right here, and that would be the Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male. For me personally, I like the original Reflection by Amouage. After that, Rose Incense. I really love Royal Tobacco, Jubilation, and then I'm going to go Purpose is excessively nice. Purpose is a fantastic fragrance. I haven't tried Lyric, but I've heard Lyric's really good. But I'm also going to let you know Interlude and Interlude Black Iris. Black Iris is my personal favorite, but Amouages have so many good ones, it's crazy. Sauvage EDT is metallic. It definitely is very loud fragrance, and it's very something a lot of people want, but I personally try to steer you towards definitely the Parfum edition, because to me it just gives you a little something extra, but it still has that little bit of something to it. You smell great. I kick in that closet too. Well, thank you, D. Reese. I appreciate that. TT Fragrances, thank you for being here. You know, it's really funny. Somebody the other day, as usual, when you do these live streams, just want to encourage you guys, just like TT Fragrance here, my buddy who's also doing a fragrance channel. I always tell you guys, please start doing live streams as soon as you get the opportunity to do so, because it's really good to start building a community and help you get comfortable speaking. I've always loved speaking to people, but for you guys, it's definitely, if you want to be a content creator, you're going to have to get used to doing that. One thing that's going to happen, you see it all the time pop up in my comments, is there's just going to be those random little douchewads who want to like troll a little bit. please, please, please either just ignore them, crack jokes back at them, or if they're like really being persistent, just get rid of them. But the only reason I'm stopping for a minute just to bring that up is because I want you guys who are out there trying to do videos as well yourself to realize is don't let people get to you. Just have fun with it because they will disappear. Leaving early tonight. Been a pleasure. Thank you, Muhammad. It's definitely been a pleasure to have you here, and you're welcome, as you know, anytime. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening. But yeah, TT Fragrance, definitely, buddy. Super happy to have you back. Lemon ice cream type of fragrance. I don't necessarily have too many like straight up creamy lemon fragrances myself. I just mostly have those like sweet woodsy ones, like the Eros Energy, or like obviously Club de Nuit Intense Man. I actually don't really have any lemon ice cream fragrances. So the only thing closest even to like a very sweet ice cream fragrance that I've got personally is the Bianco Latte, but it's more like a vanilla waffle cone type of deal personally. Top rated Clive Christians. Honestly, I'm going to be straight up with you. Haven't really tried that many. That's just me personally. And I will tell you on the other hand, Christian Louboutin. If you guys get the opportunity to check out some of those fragrances from that line, oh my goodness. La Rose. I don't remember how to say the other ones that I checked out the other day, but La Rose is fantastic. The actual fragrance houses that are on my list right now that I'm going to add to the collection next, it's going to be a while because I got a lot of fragrances to review. But Maison Crivelli, because like I said, Saffron Secret at the event that I went to the other day blew me away. All of Une Nuit Nomade fragrances were fantastic. Can't wait to get like I said, the Mind Games Discovery set was amazing. And then there was another fragrance line I'd never heard of before, but it was made by, if you guys know the perfumer, Quentin Biche. There's a whole fragrance line of his I'd never heard of before, but they were very like reasonably priced in like a special private line. Those as well I'd like to get my hands on as well. But let's see. What about Profundo? Profundo is pretty decent. I'm not a huge Acqua di Gio person, but Profundo is pretty good. Eliana, I hope I said your name properly. Thank you for being here. Try House of Beau Parfums. Thank you, Blocky, for the suggestion. I tried some coconut wood one. Really cool. Dude is naming some heat. Thank you. I appreciate you guys coming through. Like I said, has anyone tried a whiff of waffle cone? If you're just talking about straight up like waffle cones, definitely have, but not in a long time. Oh, I don't know why I don't wear this more often. In a way, this reminds me, because it has that florals and oud and rose type of profile. This, more than words, actually does remind me an awful lot of Oud Silk Mood. Oh my gosh. It's just not, it doesn't have that medicinal feel to it. Oud Silk Mood is like a medicinal lavender blend going on in between the rose and the oud. This one, definitely not nearly as powerful, but a very similar profile, and it just brings me so much joy. I don't know, my wife professionally works with flowers, so whenever I smell rose and floral scents, like the fragrance that I'm having made for me right now, because I got to pick out the notes, I went with Rose Absolue, and then Tuberose, and then I went with Iris, because I love Iris, La Male Le Parfum, and then as well, like Reflections, some of my favorites. So definitely excited to get that. Let me see here. Has anyone thinking about getting YSL myself? Ralph Lauren Gold. Just want to spend the money. To the goat right here, I think I'm going to send you towards... Excuse me, I'm so sorry. You got, like I said, me and my wife just went to my in-laws and ate some really delicious like hot dog like things. It was like kielbasa with a really awesome pepper sauce. And then I had too many peanut butter cookies, so like I'm literally about to fall over at any moment. But yeah, sorry. So I will explain Bianco Latte to you in just a second. But as far, I think I'm going to send you to a YSL myself. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Get the gold. Get Al Haramain Gold. That'll be a good choice for you. I hear that perfume smells like caramel, but I don't remember which one it was. Maybe Montal. Well, I can also send you towards caramel fragrance right now, Eomi Monkey Special, or as well, like I said, I can't remember what it was called, but there's a Mind Games fragrance. Just look up Mind Games and then caramel notes, because that was like the best caramel fragrance I've ever smelled in my life. Wasn't too crazy on Christian Louboutin because of the bottles. Yeah, I hate the bottles. I will say the bottle's absolutely garbage to me personally. Just like the Toy Boy over here by Moschino. I hate the bottle, but the fragrance was very nice. But I will tell you a little bit about Bianco Latte real quick. And then as far as MLO 860, hey, you know what? That's your personal choice. But I will say this. I much prefer Le Male, but Brut is decent. Amore Cafe by Mancera. I don't personally have Amore Cafe. I've tried it. It was nice, but I actually ended up liking Hot Lodge had their own cafe latte fragrance. It was actually a really good fragrance personally, but also it wasn't for me. Again, if you want to become better acquainted with perfumery as a whole, you definitely have to get yourself used to note profiles and be able to expose yourself if you ever get the opportunity. Not that you guys are that into it, But get yourself exposed to raw materials if you can, however you can get access to them, especially the better quality, the better exposure, and get yourself exposed to as many different types of note profiles as you can. One more quick random fun fact while I'm talking about some junk you probably don't care about. When you smell a fragrance, please don't just sniff it quickly. Also, don't smell it off of a strip as much as possible. You won't experience what a fragrance is supposed to do by the perfumer's hands and the chemist's creations if you just smell it off of a strip. If you can help it, spray it on yourself on your actual skin somewhere, if possible. If you're testing a lot in one day, sure, whatever, use the strips. But like to really get to know a fragrance, you got to put it on your skin so that your skin can actually heat and break it apart. You can find out if it works with your hormones and chemistry. And then as well, you will be able to see how it actually performs and how quickly you personally go nose blind to it and how other people see about it and it feels. So just throwing that out there, making it very, very clear. But yeah, fragrances, fantastic. But this one right here, Bianco Latte, is very much just like a nice, sweet, vanilla, creamy waffle cone type of fragrance. If you've ever walked by an ice cream place that makes their own waffle cones and they have that cinnamon fresh baked waffle cone type of feel, that's really what you get from Bianco Latte. But it's a sneaky little guy right here because I think it's 150. Sometimes it's on sale for 120, 132, something like that. But it's a sneaky little dude because it actually smells strong and sweet, but at the same time, when you first spray it on, it's almost like Baccarat Rouge 540 extract. When you spray it on, and it gets on the skin, but at very first, it almost seems like it's not that strong. And you're like, huh, that's kind of disappointing. But then as your body heat starts to break apart, and it does what the perfumer designed it to do, it starts coming off of you. And this is one of those ones that really surprised me because it lasted all day and was really delicious. Although, if you, like me, like really complex fragrances often that break apart and turn into something different, this doesn't do that. It stays very linear most of its usage. But you know what? It is what it is. Bottle looks like a cheapy Bianco Latte. Yeah, it does. To be honest with you, it definitely looks like a cheaper fragrance. I like actually that they use an embossed wooden cap, but for what it's worth, it definitely doesn't. It's just like literally a sticker growing across this thing. But I don't know how long this company's been around, but they definitely did an excellent job, and they have all the, compliancies and so forth. So I like it, just not the biggest fan of the bottle. Let's see here. Is Men in Black by Bulgari decent in terms of performance? I've actually not tried that one, to be honest with you. So, Le Beau Le Parfum or Le Male Elixir? Well, it depends what you want it for. Because for me personally, I prefer overall Le Male Elixir. I just love the notes because it's definitely honey, sweet tobacco leaf, and then you've got the tonka bean and lavender. I prefer this one because this one's fantastic. That beautiful coconut pina colada type of feel with the density and the sweets underneath it and the woodsy feel. Really good for the summertime, really good for any time basically, but if you want a tropical vibe. I will most of the time suggest this to people, but you got to go test it first if you can, because some people think this is a little too sweet. If I could steer you anywhere in between and give you my personal favorite, Le Male Le Parfum. Beautiful iris, lavender, creamy sweetness going on, and as well, it tends to last very long, but more closer to the skin instead of bleeding off of you, like the other two do. Spice Mama Stream Sam, would you recommend me Bianco Latte for the summer? That's actually the perfect time of year I would recommend it, which is odd because, again, it's a vanilla fragrance, but I definitely gear that much more as a summertime fragrance. So have you tried Electimus Imperium? I have not. I have not tried that fragrance, but I love when you guys suggest for me things because I enjoy getting to add it to my list. Oh, this one's fantastic, though. I despise this bottle. I'm going to say that every single time that I show this one on the screen. You guys actually, I don't know who, I can't remember which one it was. A couple of you guys suggested this for me, Moschino's Toy Boy. I hate the bottle so much, but the fragrance smells so good. It's not for everybody, but it's pear, cucumber, like a cucumber water type feel, or freshly sliced cucumber and water. And then rose. So again, I like rose fragrances, but the bottle's just absolute garbage and the cap doesn't stay shut. But it's very strong and it surprised me for the price that this is, because it's like, I think I got this for like $40. It's usually about $70. But if you want to try something that's different and fresh for the summertime, definitely strong on the pear and the cucumber, but not in a feminine type of way. I know it sounds misleading and especially, again, super unusual overall bottle style, but highly recommend this for you guys. Moschino's Toy Boy, if you're looking for something to be a little bit more unique for the summertime. There's one other fragrance that I've been happy to show you guys lately. If you've ever heard of Portrait of a Lady, I did a review of that very, very recently. Hold on, wait. Should I get Latafa Hamra or Club Benz Black? For me personally, get Latafa Hamra Kawa, the one with the Q. I don't know if I'm saying that right, and if I'm not, I'm sorry. But I'd probably send you in that direction because it's very fantastic. I steered away from trying Paragon and Ishio since there's already such a popular dupe. I haven't tried the dupe myself, Do you ever get overwhelmed with the number of fragrances you have? I used to have around 300 bottles, but had to sell 80% of them as my hobby got out of hand. You know what, Mikey? I'm super grateful that you commented that, because I say this a lot. And I know there's people who've trolled me because I've said this. There's people who get angry, or for whatever reason. I'm just a random guy on the internet. You can keep scrolling. But I want to be honest with you real quick. Dior Fahrenheit, pretty decent fragrance. Not my style, a little on the whatever, but it's not bad if you want to get something a little cheaper and decent. But to answer my buddy Mikey here, I don't get overwhelmed because I don't wear most of these. I only have them to test them for the most part, to then do fragrance reviews. I would say out of all these, there's probably about near 15 or so that I alternate between. More specifically, about 9 or 10 that I really, really wear. But that's just because, again, like I've said before, the average person can only like connect to so much. That's like telling somebody you need to have 50 favorite bands. You can have a lot of music you enjoy. You can have a lot of music you love, but there's only going to be so many that you'll say, like, if I had to choose 10, that's what I'm going to go for. I think today's time we have like way too many options in our life for pretty much everything. Yes, I'm getting preachy. Again, it's my channel. I can do that. Don't want to run you guys off. But these days we have way too many options for basically everything, and most people have a hard time even picking favorites anymore. And believe it or not, it's bad to have too many options. It's good to be able to pick favorites. So I don't get overwhelmed because most of this is, like I said, for discussion and for reviews. But I will say that for most people, that's why I tell you guys, don't just be addicted and impulse buy. What douchebag creators like me, like so many YouTubers and TikTokers are saying, buy this, buy this, buy this. It's fantastic. It's probably not, and you don't need it. So if you're thinking about buying something and you've already got a lot, please don't. Just run through what you already have. So if you don't like it as much as your favorite one, dodge it. If I were you, opt only get one favorite one from each brand. Absolutely. It's found a 10 ml of Bianco Latte for $24. Do you think that's a good deal? A 10 milliliter of Bianco Latte for how much did you say? $24? I think that might be a good choice. Yeah. Probably so. It's kind of tough, though. It just depends. If it's just $24, that's not too much of a gamble. You deserve a lot more subscribers, brother. Here you go. You got a new one. Thank you. That really means a lot to me. I appreciate that. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Like I said, when any of you guys stop by, it means a lot to me. I talk a little too much, probably a little too fast, and I start jawing off about my own personal thoughts and opinions. But it's just because I want to help you guys out. I'm nobody special. Again, I'm not a professional or nothing, but I've been passionate about fragrances for a very long time. And I don't want you guys screwing yourselves over. I don't want you guys making bad decisions. If you can't tell, I have 2 kids. I am a dad, and you guys aren't my kids or nothing, but I care about y'all. And I don't want you guys just throwing away money for no reason, even if it bores y'all. You know what I'm saying? Is red tobacco, let me see, red tobacco considered sexy? I guess maybe some people might feel that way. It definitely isn't for everybody, that's for sure. Especially the Intense edition, which is like my personal favorite of the bunch. I will say this, because of Red Tobacco Intense by Mancera, and definitely if you have that, because it's a much better price range. I got Carlisle. I got a lot of PDMs. I've at one point in time had pretty much all of them. Got me a sample of Castley on the way right now from Parfums de Marly. I'm very excited about that. But if you guys haven't got yours yet, they might still be offering samples for that. But I will say Red Tobacco Intense reminds me a lot of Carlisle, like Carlisle and Harrod kind of together. But really good fragrance, and I think depending on if somebody likes a more smoky blended tobacco fragrance, they might think so, yeah. But it's nice. It's nice. Real quick, though, like I said, just want to shout this bad boy out, because this is a cheapie that actually surprised me the other day. Oh, yeah, that's nice. So this is supposed to be a take on Portrait of a Lady, which, by the way, you know I love rose fragrances, but I didn't like it. I don't really like raspberry and stuff. And Portrait of a Lady is definitely a rose fragrance that has a bright raspberry-ish type of blend going on in there, and that kind of puts it off for me, sort of. I like more sweet rose, more oud rose, something along those lines. But this is Identity Unique Portrait. Who is this from? It's Amir Identity by, I think it's Paris Corner. So this is like a $20 or $30 fragrance, something like that. And this is the same take on it, but with a little bit more of a more oudy and cinnamon type of feel to it. So for the price range, it actually lasted all day on my skin. And I really liked it. So if you're interested in that Portrait of a Lady kind of feel, Unique Portrait or Identity Unique Portrait by Paris Corner, definitely not a bad choice to steer you guys in that kind of direction. But let's see if we got anything else. Sedley and Side Effect. I'm gonna. Oh, is that? Oh, you know what? I'm such an idiot. I just totally, completely forgot that I started to stream off with the title. What's your favorite fragrance? I've been babbling for an hour now. We're a couple seconds away from an hour, and I've been randomly seeing people type out scents and thinking they're asking me what I think. And now I just realized you guys are telling me your favorite fragrances. So I'm super sorry about that. But overseas, thank you for letting me know. I'm not the hugest fan of Sedley, but it is a good fragrance. I personally prefer Side Effect. But thank you for popping by. Best summer fragrance that's not niche. Shoot, I'm going to send you right here towards Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense, or Versace Eros Parfum, or Versace Eros Eau de Parfum Flame. Sorry, Versace Eros Flame, or this baby right here. This is not niche. It's not. But Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Paradise Garden. This is wonderful. I got this the other day. Again, the bottles are not necessarily my style. This one especially is really funny because it comes with a little flippy down here for whatever reason. But and I actually thought at first they put it on upside down, but don't worry, they did it right. They did it right. Quality control coming over there from France. Good job. But this is sandalwood riding underneath coconut water with aquatic notes, and it's perfect. It's very strong. Lasts very well for the summer. Andrew, favorite frag, just impossible to say for me, man. It gets a lot of hate. What gets a lot of hate? Sorry if I didn't see it. What about Broca brand? I haven't tried anything of theirs, although I did try all the Sospiro fragrances the other day, and they weren't necessarily my style. But, again, that's everybody's got different opinions. Let's see here. So, Andrew, favorite fragrance, just impossible to say for me, man. I got so many. Well, hey, you know what? Whatever you guys, excuse me, if you can't think of like your absolute number one, like favorite fragrance or so, I'd also love to see what you guys, if you could type out maybe your top 5 or top 10. It doesn't even have to be in any order. That's another thing. When people ask me my favorite fragrances, I try to kind of not really go in a particular order. Oh, Intense over Aqua di Gio line. Oh, 100%. Do I prefer Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Eau Intense over Aqua di Gio? So I'm not an Aqua di Gio fan. Just going to go ahead and say that ahead of time. No offense, as usual, to anyone who likes Aqua di Gio, but they're not for me. The Profundo is pretty okay. The Elixir that just came out as well is actually pretty decent. But for the most part, I just think they're an excessively basic fragrance. But that's my thoughts. I never mean that to insult anybody else's tastes. But Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue's Eau Intense is like crusher, absolute crusher, massively good performer, especially on the beach day. Even if you get nice and sweaty, it clings to the skin very, very well. I also wish that more companies did what Dolce & Gabbana does with their fragrances, because they actually put the primary notes on the back of the box, so you don't have to go Google searching. Oh, you know what? Oh, my sweet God. I forgot that I have these. Wow. I literally was trying to remember where in the world I put my little sample thingies I got the other day as well. Because this is Parfums de Marly's Calan. And then this is Tom Ford's Jasmine Rouge. What else we got? I totally forgot they even gave me these. This is Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. And then the Dior Homme Parfum. I don't know if you guys saw, instead of Dior Homme Intense, they actually recently, not very long ago, came out with the Dior Homme Parfum. I cannot believe I completely forgot that they gave me these sample thingies when I was walking through there. But if you haven't checked it out before, one of the Parfums de Marly's that I actually like, although my wife said that it smells like dead ladybugs. Don't know why, but now every time I smell it, I think that same thing, but I like it. So sorry, ladybugs, you gotta go. But this is Calan by Parfums de Marly. It's actually pretty decent. I recall Fruity Marine Nuance. Definitely. Tell me what they smell similar to. What do you like more in comparison? So I will tell you right now, I'll just read the notes to you real fast. So this one says lemon, aquatic note, and clary sage for the Eau Intense. The original had a rosemary feel to it, but definitely a very, very like aquatic, just overall beautiful aquatic and soft, relaxed feel going on for the most part with that nice lemon going on. Armaf Club de Nuit Intense, projection, strong or weak, 2-hour initial. So Raghav, thank you for coming. So this is the Intense Parfum. For me personally, it's my favorite of the bunch. This is the Pure Parfum, not the Collector's Edition. Or excuse me, not Collector's Edition. They have like a special edition one or whatever. I like this one the most. So the Eau de Parfum is pretty decent. This one overall has the softest and best fragrance profile. I get roughly, hard to gauge overall if I'm remembering correctly, I think about 8 hours of like really decent performance, 6 to 8 hours of like decent performance, but it clings as like a very like mellowed out lemon woodsy scent for around like that 8 to 9 hour mark. I mean, after that, it's still there, but it's excessively faint. but it's not a bad fragrance. It lasts. It's just not the best thing in the world. Did you just say Noir de Noir by Tom Ford? Yes, I absolutely did just say that. I've got me a little sample bottle up here right now, and I don't even remember. I got it because, again, like I said, PDM's Cologne, Tom Ford Jasmine Rouge. But yeah, Tom Ford's Noir de Noir is what I got right here. And the reason I got this was because, oh, you know what? Actually, I don't know if any of you guys are here who were here the other day when I was talking about one of my favorite rose fragrances, but I don't wear it much because it's extremely expensive. This guy right here, the Ardent by Bodicea Victorious. Very expensive fragrance house as a whole, but this one is very much saffron, rose, vanilla, stuff along those lines. Pretty straight to the point, but excessively powerful. Oh man, that's really nice. Very, very excellently blended. But Tom Ford's Noir de Noir, I say that very bad, Noir de Noir, is definitely like an almost like nearly identical fragrance profile, except this has like a sharpness to it. It doesn't have it in it, I think, but it has a mild agarwood sharpness to it in the background. But yeah, I got this because a lot of people kind of compared it to. Gonna go ahead and throw this out there. Bodicea Victorious' Ardent is like 20 times better. Again, just my opinion, but definitely much more dense, more powerful, and it's an overall smoother and better note profile. But yeah, Noir de Noir, very good fragrance. Sean, what's up, big dog? Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you stopping through. What's the best Guess men's cologne? Honestly, I'm not sure. I haven't smelled Guess fragrances in a long time, and I don't want to lie to you and tell you anything because I try to keep it super honest here. What's the most sexiest fragrance in your collection? Ooh, that's tough. I don't think about my fragrances being sexy too often, but I guess if I had to really think it over, and again, this first thing I'm going to say isn't sexy. It's more sultry. Amawage's, no. Let me stop right there. Amawage's Interlude Black Iris might be one of the most sultry fragrances that I have. But you know what? No. I know exactly what I'm going to go with here. Maybe one of these two guys. Maybe Oud Silk Mood, to me, is the sexiest that I've got. But Grand Soir by Maison Francis Kirkjohn. I think if I had to say, those might be like, if you walk into a room, you definitely smell like a sexy man or a woman, whatever, whoever's wearing whatever they want. Doesn't really matter, I guess. But yeah, I'd probably go down that road. Like Oud Intense, but the bottle reminds me of the toilet. I definitely can see where you're coming from. I can totally understand that, but definitely Eau Intense is a fantastic fragrance. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense is one of the best summer fragrances ever created. Armand, thank you so much for being here. And you're absolutely right, Sean. Black Iris it's definitely a chef's kiss of a fragrance. But just want to say this again. I know I'm a broken record, but I cannot tell you enough how much it means to me. You guys are here. You guys are taking the time to ask questions and hang out. Please, I know sometimes when I stop and do these things, because I'm not a salesman type of dude. I'm just a guy hanging out talking about fragrances. So I know that to be a very successful live streamer, I got to be all in your grill trying to push things on you. I'm not that kind of person. I like to talk, but I'm not a major enthusiastic person in that kind of way. So I don't like boring you guys, and I'm sorry if at any point I do. But it truly does mean a lot to me that y'all are here hanging out. So I say stuff like that a lot, but like I said, it just means the world to me because you'd be shocked, but there's times when like a little baby, I tear up a little bit when I finish these streams because it means so much to me you guys come through. So have you tried any Lattafa from the Pride 2.0 line? I don't think so. I don't know what the Pride 2.0 line is. I will say my most recent Lattafas that I got my hands on the other hand, was the new Lattafa Hamra Dukan. And then I got this bad boy right here, which everybody told me that they love. And I actually will say, this is a really good fragrance for what it's worth. Hey man, was wondering what's a Beast Mode Freshie I can wear every day at work? Beast Mode Freshie, I'm going to straight up give you, Beast Mode loosely, but to me, I think of Versace Eros Parfum. Remember, Parfum Edition, to me personally, is a fresh fragrance. It's very beautiful bergamot, creamy bergamot, vanilla type of fragrance with kind of woodsy undertones going on with a little bit of rose as well. Super strong, will definitely last you all day. As well, if you can get your hands on Bleu de Chanel Parfum, excuse me, so sorry, but it's also $200. It's a little bit on the pricier end. Armani Code Parfum, very fresh fragrance, super duper strong. There's a handful of other ones out there, but as well, this little dude right here, either the Le Beau Le Parfum or Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Paradise Garden. Very, very powerful, fresh fragrances. You guys can slap those bad boys on if you want to. And so, like I said, very thankful for you stopping through and asking questions. Love to see you. Hey, buddy, I love to see you too. Thank you so much for coming through here. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate it. Let's see here. If you could keep, and Casey, like I said, thanks for asking, buddy. It means a lot to me as well. Sorry for repeating myself, like I said, but I'm so thankful to have you guys here. Like, it's awesome. You could be doing anything else in the world tonight, and you're talking with me for a couple minutes at a time. So that's super cool. Like a person's dream. Was wondering what Beast Mode Freshie answered that. If you could keep any 5 fragrances for the rest of your life, what would they be? I'm guessing I can't do a tie here because you said only 5. So Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Mâle Le Parfum, the black bottle. Oud Silk Mood Extrait de Parfum by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Ombre Leather Parfum by Tom Ford. This just got really difficult. Versace Eros Parfum, because it's just so versatile, so strong, very good dumb reach fragrance. I don't know. If I could only have 5 for the rest of my life. Xerjoff Naxos. I'm going to go with Xerjoff Naxos. It's hard for me to do that because it's reminiscent of some of the fragrances I already said. But I'm going to have to go with Xerjoff Naxos. And yeah, Eternal Oud, it actually is like a really decent fragrance. But it's not my personal favorite, but Armani Code is underrated. Dude, you are not kidding me. You are seriously, seriously not kidding me. I got to make this excessively clear. I have had multiple people during my streams clown on me just in mild passing comments about Armani Code Parfum. Let me make this clear to you. You guys, if you hate it, you don't know what you're talking about. It's okay if you don't like the scent profile, but this is a powerhouse fragrance, like unnecessarily strong. And the smell is very distinct and incredible and classic. Armani is an incredible fragrance house, but Code Parfum is like dummy thick of a fragrance. Just gotta say that. So, went and got Eros Flame, and it smells good, but I think it's a small winter fragrance. Hey, you know what? A small winter fragrance, a fall and winter fragrance. Thank you, King Sword, for being here, by the way. But I definitely agree with you. It can be that way. To me, I like the blood orange kicking me towards a nice little summer day at the beach, but I can see it definitely feeling like a winter fragrance for a lot of people. Super classy lavender tonka being everyday fragrance. Definitely going to be that Le Mâle, Le Mâle elixir type of deal going on there. You have Pure Distance Black. I do know. Oh, you have to try Pure Distance Black. Thank you, Alexander P, for the suggestion. Andrew, could you suggest any summer freshie without any sweetness? Really hard to find anything without vanilla. Okay. Well, now that you asked, how old am I? I'm 32, by the way. Thanks for asking. My birthday was a couple weeks ago. You want a summer freshie with no vanilla, you say. I got you. No problem whatsoever, my friend. Renaissance by Xerjoff. This is just straight up Italian lemon oil type of fragrance. Very strong. Whoa. No, that's nice. Yeah, definitely Xerjoff's Renaissance. I want to make this excessively clear. I don't get free stuff. I buy all these. One person so far has sent me a fragrance to try out for free, and they were awesome. They wanted my honest opinions. The dudes at Sensual Obsessions. Those are the guys who's making the fragrance that I just asked to be made specifically. But everything else I paid for. So when I tell you this, I do want this to be very clear. If there's ever a fragrance house out there, if one day I get big enough and somebody wants to send me free stuff, please let it be Xerjoff. I'll take Amouage, but please let it be Xerjoff, because I would love to just get buttloads of Xerjoff fragrances. But Renaissance is a very bright, fresh summer lemon fragrance, and it doesn't have any of that vanillic type of molecules or cinnamons or anything like that. On the other hand, if you are trying to do something completely different and very aquatic and fresh, this is also in my top 5. This is Xerjoff's 40 Knots. This is a ridiculously awesome fragrance. I've been rocking light blue. Now it's warmed up. Heck yeah, Alex. That is an awesome choice. If you didn't throw a Xerjoff in there, we were going to throw hands. Yes, we would have. You would have deserved to beat me up if I hadn't picked a Xerjoff out. What does Creed Bois de Portugal smell like? Mike Knipp, I'm sorry. I actually have not smelled that, so I don't want to tell you any stories. I've been very curious about 40 Knots. I'll get into this in a second. If you can only keep one brand, Xerjoff or Amouage. Oh, that's an easy one. Xerjoff all day. Like Amouage can hit the road. I love Amouage, but if I can only choose between that or Xerjoff, Xerjoff is like the king fragrance house. While Jean Paul Gaultier makes my favorite fragrances overall, Xerjoff, there's nothing like, to me, even fragrances of theirs that I don't personally like to wear for myself, I'm blown away by what they do. Every single thing. Even the other day when I was at that event at La Perfumerie, and they had like the whole entire little, like the most recent Xerjoffs that have come out were there. I was like, wow, I haven't smelled some of these. These are incredible and blew my mind. Like Xerjoff just can do no wrong. And they've also got some of the most options of any fragrance house. But 40 knots is just a very pure to the core aquatic notes, very sea salt, marine notes going with some sagey type feel going on there. But like, this is like the truest, true beach aquatic sea note fragrance you can get your hands on. Almost with like a mild, I don't mean this in a bad way or a deterrent way, but like a mild chlorine type of feel going on just in some way, shape, or form. Great detailed answer. I appreciate people who don't mind me having detailed answers because, again, I can kind of get really carried away. In the vein of Dior Eau Sauvage or Roja Scandal, I actually have not tried any Roja fragrances personally, but I keep having people recommend them to me. I just found about your channel 2 days ago, but I honestly love you as a person and started looking up the video. Dude, that makes me so happy. That's one of the nicest comments anybody's ever given to me before. And that actually, like, that hits me in my heart. I thank you so much, Armand, for even coming through here. And like, don't worry, man, we're all figuring life out forever. Like, if you ever want to ask me, I'm going to do the best I can. I'm a dad. I have life experiences, but I'm no genius and I'm no like pro or nothing. So if you ever want to just ask anything, if you got any life questions, if you guys are in your teens and younger, please, like, whether it's me or one of our other buddies in here, like, we're all brothers, dude. We're all friends. And no matter who you are, what you believe in, if you come here, it's about fragrances, but it's about so much more than that. Like, I want a community with you guys and not just about me or these things. Like, so please, if you are younger dudes and you ever have questions about life and what have you, feel free to ask. And if it's not me, then somebody else, one of the older buddies who comes here regularly, like if anybody's ever willing to give advice and help out, that's awesome. That means a lot to me if you guys would even do that. So thank you, though, so much for saying what you just said, Armand. I hope I'm saying your name right and not being disrespectful. Jacob, thank you as well for subscribing, dude. It means a lot to me. I appreciate you being here so much. If my favorite unwashed reflection and reflection 45, what 2 Xerjoffs would be on my short list? 40 years young. Heck yeah, Sean, I'm 32. We in this together. Although you've definitely got a little more seasoning on your chicken than I do. Have you tried Dawn or Commandant? Those actually were both at the event the other day. And Dawn, I liked a little bit less than Commandant. Personally, but they were both fantastic. But just to say, Reflection 45, so if those are 2, what Xerjoff should be on your short list? If you haven't got them yet, then obviously I'm going to steer you towards, if you like that kind of scent profile, even though it's not iris like those are, it's somewhat in that vein, the sweet, bright honey rose tobacco, I'm definitely going to send you towards Naxos. But as well, I'm going to put you in 2 other directions. I'm going to send you towards Zefiro. I don't remember what the exact notes was for this, but I will tell you that it maintains almost like it could be a nice cousin to Reflections. So Xerjoff's Zefiro, it's Zefiro. That as well next to Naxos would be really good choices for you. And if you like that, I'm also going to send you towards Torino 23. All the Torinos are different, but I'm totally going to send you towards 23 for sure. Zefiro is fire. Yes, it is. Marco, what's up, buddy? Thank you so much for coming here, my friend. Super happy to see you. Just getting into Cologne and would like some advice. Hey, whatever advice you'd like to ask, please fire away. I'd love to help you out if I can. If not, hopefully somebody else can. But real quick, Pico Vaya. I have not smelled that one. Alexandria 2, on the other hand, as you can see, I got me a little bottle, and I've got the big bottle over there. And by the way, Alexandria 2 is a very expensive fragrance, and it's one of the few Xerjoffs that is actually a extrait de parfum or a pure parfum instead of a eau de parfum. It is a monster. It's not for everybody, but it's a monster. But yes, Zefiro, Naxos, and Torino 23, perfect choices for you guys. But Marco, super happy to see you. And I will say this, you asked about Latent Exclusive and the change. So if you asked if my thoughts about it changed, I believe is what it says, right? Yeah. So like I said, this is a really nice fragrance. It's not bad. It's just personally, like I said, it's not like the most beast mode fragrance in the entire universe, especially for the price that you pay. But I will say it was excellently done. I like the original Layton a little bit more, but for people who want maybe a little more dense and sensual feel compared to the original brightness and medicinal feel of the original Layton, Layton Exclusive by Parfums de Marly is definitely not a bad option if that's the kind of direction you personally are trying to go into. Let's see here. What about Alfred Sungstone pour Homme? I've actually not smelled that myself personally. Although I can say if you want that Irish spring soap, just get Green Irish Tweed by what they call. How can I forget? Creed Green Irish Tweed. Yeah, I tend to only get 6 hours from Exclusive. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Layton Exclusive is definitely not the biggest performer in the universe. I will say this though, always gonna steer you youngsters, you young guys out there, or anyone. I love this. Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Elixir. This is also a major powerhouse fragrance for anybody who's looking for something that's a very like amber, vanilla rose, damask rose with some apple on the top. That's actually kind of like the mild thing that it kind of inspired the notes that I requested in the fragrance that I'm getting made. Is I did the rose Absolute with the tuberose and then iris and then a apple feel with a sugar accord. So not like honey or something, but like a pure like almost like powdered sugar feel. And then that's going to be going with Ambroxan at the base. So that's the fragrance notes that I picked for the one that I got made right now. And I'm very, very excited about that. But truly, truly, truly for the summertime, I want to recommend for you guys to get Armani Code Parfum. If you guys haven't got that yet, give it a good shot. How many sprays of Herba Pura do I do? Oh, shoot. I probably do about 6. It's a very strong fragrance, to be honest with you, but I do my normal spray routine with Herba Pura because I like that one to come off me, especially on those hot days. So if you guys don't know, I typically do dink dink over here on the pulse points, good heat up base. Back of the neck for the sillage. My wife likes to do it on her hair, which is pretty decent for the ladies or dudes with long hair. So pulse points, back of the neck, one on each shoulder, not right in the chest because the shoulder is a better way to keep it from kind of going excessively nose blind. And then for me personally, I like to put a little bit on my wrist, but Herba Pura, I definitely be getting some down just a little bit. Am I the only one who catches apple pie from Rabanne 1 Million Royal? I can kind of see that. Yeah, Ivan, I can definitely see that. Oh, and I also ordered a 30 ml of Sensual Obsessions. Yes! Not to get too excited, but heck yeah. Are you passionate about anything else other than fragrances? That depends on if everybody here else is okay with me getting into that, because that is a wide range to open up there. But long story short, yes. So my family, although that's not what you're curious about, but my wife and my kids and family and stuff like that, very passionate about that. With that being said, I'm very passionate about reading. I'm not a fast reader. I'm not a very good reader, but I do love to read, specifically fantasy. Not so much science fiction. I like watching science fiction, but I do like reading a little bit of it. Science fiction can be science fiction and fantasy books can be very dense, but you got to like that kind of stuff a lot if you want to read something dense. So it's a little easier for me to watch that, but fantasy is very much my thing. And then religious studies. So historical, religious studies and communities, stuff like that. I have a couple of friends who have their doctorates in ancient Near East religious studies and as well Christianities and Islamic studies. So for the past 10 years, I can't afford to just go to school and take the time off from work to do so. But I have been studying under them and spent hundreds of hours reading and going through those courses. So not that anybody gives a crap, but other than fragrances, I'm very, very passionate about reading and as well studying religious histories and things along those lines, especially my own beliefs and the beliefs of others. So it's been a very long time studying the Hindu texts, and I can't speak other languages like that, but studying the Hindu texts in all the depths that I possibly could, the Quran and different Quranic histories and as well hadiths, stuff like that, and as well the Bhagavad Gita, well, that's Hindu, and then as well Dhammapada and stuff along those lines. So just trying to understand different people's beliefs and where they come from. My next client just got to the shop. Enjoy. Thank you, Sean. Well, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your night, buddy. Ocean Noir. I think that's by Michael Malal or whatever his name is. I personally myself haven't smelled any of those fragrances. I almost ordered a bottle once, but I've heard that they're really good. Just getting into cologne and would like some advice. Hey, Easton, fire away, buddy. Any questions you got, I'd be more than happy to help you and answer anything that I possibly can. But yeah, so anybody who's ever curious about other stuff I'm passionate about, that's pretty much the kind of stuff that I like, is going for walks and then reading, studying, all that kind of stuff. Me and my wife really want to learn another language. And after we went to Germany, especially got inspired by that. And I'll tell you another thing. When I got into my family history and actually found out where my dad's side of the family comes from, because a good chunk of my dad's DNA, other than the Bavarian German area and Scotland, the majority of actually the better half of my dad's DNA apparently comes from Iran, Iraq, and then as well, he's got some family that I already knew about this, comes from Morocco and the area of Tunisia. So when I found out about the Middle East and North African descent, especially because it was a very high percentage, that hit me a lot because I've always been attracted to those parts of the world and love learning about Middle Eastern and Islamic history. So I'm not a Muslim myself, I'm a Christian, but I was inspired for a while to maybe want to learn Arabic. Then I found out that there's a lot of different regional Arabic dialects, and it's already really hard to learn. The alphabet I studied for a while, but I forgot it already. But just throwing that out there. I like languages, but I'm not very good at learning them, to be honest with you. But what are some good colognes that aren't too expensive? I definitely would say you want to stick in the dupe realm if you're going to go that way, but for sure, if you're going to go in that direction, depending on what you mean by not too expensive, Hod Lodge makes a lot of actually really good fragrances, to be honest with you. So, as you know, forgive me, I love Reflection Man by Amouage. Oh my God, them hot dogs are really coming up right now. Shiyaka, I don't know if I'm saying that right, by Hod Lodge. This is an exceptionally good take on that iris perfumery feel. And I would say this is a really good one. All the ones I'm showing you right now are roughly about $30. Hod Lodge's Island, fantastic take on Le Beau Le Parfum. And then as well, their Vanilla Dunes, fantastic take on Altair by Parfums de Marly. But as well, if you wouldn't mind spending an extra $10, the best take you're going to get of that is Sensual Obsessions Eagle Star. To my buddy who ordered his first Sensual Obsessions, you made an excellent, excellent choice. And then as well by French Avenue, I'm a huge proponent of Azur Oud and Oud Maracuja. Sorry. That's what this is supposed to be. This bad boy right here, Azur Oud, and then as well Coco Morado. Definitely fantastic choices if you're looking for like the cheaper end price point and you want to go like super duper cheap and get yourself some good fragrances going on. If you don't mind stepping it up a little bit, definitely going for your Armani, Dolce & Gabbana, Versace is probably the way to go. Have a blessed night. Love your channel. Thank you, Mick Mertens. Hopefully I said that right. Thank you so much for stopping through. By the way, just throwing this out here, because it's getting a little bit late, my wife is working through, not that anybody cares, but I just found out my credit score went up quite a bit. Awesome. But just throwing this out there, would like a separate channel for just Douglas Lane. We could chill and talk about other things like fragrances, religion, books, and I'm interested in these things like you do. Hey, to be honest with you, I kind of talk about that stuff here anyway. Like I said, it's not necessarily good for a person trying to build a YouTube channel, as far as I can tell, because you kind of need to stick to like one thing they say. But when I do these live streams, as you can see, like viewers come and go. So it's not like I'm really competing with anything here. So I kind of talk about whatever I want. If you guys ask, if anybody comes through and wants to ask about fragrances, I'll stop and talk about it. But for the most part, I love getting into other things. That's kind of why I've been trying to continue to build this community during these live streams, is so that, I can branch off and talk about other things as well. And if people want to stick around, that's cool. And if they don't, that's cool too. I would love your opinion on the notes I choose for my fragrance. So cognac, cherry, coffee, sweet tobacco, caramel, and amber. That's ridiculous. That's going to smell so... Marco, I'm not trying to like dox you or nothing at all, but like, may I ask what part of the world and region you personally live in? One day, if I'm anywhere near you, I definitely want to hang out. I don't know if I'm correct, but do you play music? Like, I might be wrong in remembering, but dude, that is fantastic fragrance choices. Have you ever tried Armaf Untold? I got it down at the bottom shelf right now, and it is actually really, really good. Best summer beast mode fragrance. Definitely going to gear you towards, as always. Now, you know what? I'm going to stick you with Le Beau. Jean-Paul Gaultier is back there in the back. Le Beau, Le Parfum, or the Paradise Garden. Super powerful, really, really fantastic summer fragrances. You want something a little more chill? Shizuki. Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue O Intense. Let's see here. But yeah, best summer fragrances I'm going on there. Or any good choice, or any good Dolce & Gabbana fragrances, absolutely. Armaf Untold is the best cologne I've ever smelled. The dry down is unmatched. Heck yeah. That's my wife, by the way, at the bottom on her old account. Before, that's my wife, Jess Cav. I love you. I told him that a few times. Andrew, such a wise and loving. Get out of here. Oh, this is one of the situations where now that I know my wife's watching, it's time to get shy. I'm just kidding. Like I said, I talk about whatever I want here. So definitely bring up stuff like matters of faith and things, and interacting with you guys about your personal, like whatever you got going on and want to talk about. It's all important to me. But yes, my wife is here now, so she's watching me. But the great and powerful wise wife, I miss you too. I know you're doing a great job in the kitchen right now, and she's not cooking or nothing, not like that kind of stuff. But she does cook very well. But she's in there working for her business that she does. So that's kind of why I was going to get off here kind of soon. Hey, no, I'm very blessed to have her. Like, I thank you so much. Our mom, but my wife is my best friend in the world. And I'm so thankful. I wouldn't literally not have any of this going on. I'm not exaggerating. I wouldn't have any of this that's going on right now if it wasn't for her and her, like, encouraging me and being there with me and so much more that you guys wouldn't understand. Have I tried Hawass Black? I sure have. I got all the Hawasses. Every Hawass you can get your hands on, including the elixir. Hawass Black, actually, a lot of people don't ask me about this one. But I got to tell you, if you were trying to get like one of the most perfect DNAs of that Creative Ventus field, other than Club de Nuit Intense Man Parfum, which, by the way, is perfectly well done enough. But if you want a more richly sweet version, this, to me, is like the right in between of that and Eros Energy. Whereas Eros Energy can be a little too lemon bomb for a lot of people, Hawass Black is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't have like the best performance in the world because the brightness of the lemon and so forth wears off a little quick and the woodiness just kind of clings around. I'd say on skin and so forth, you probably get maybe about 5 hours, something along those lines. But it is a really nice fragrance, and it's so cheap you can just carry it around and keep slapping it back on. But Extrait, is the Extrait Baccarat Rouge from Maison Alhambra better than the EDP? I'm going to be real with you. Not really, to be honest. I was mildly disappointed, and I don't mean mildly, actually very disappointed. She's got you good. I'll say this, though. My favorite fragrance channels and the ones that actually participate in are the ones that fragrance collectors, but also talk about life. I think you got the right idea. Well, JJ, I really appreciate that, then. I know this is a cliche. I'll get back to that in just a second, but real fast. I know this is a very cliche question, but what do you recommend as a summer fragrance? Hey, that's not cliche. Actually, real quick before I answer that, good night, brother. Is that John or Jan Hilgers? I don't know why I immediately went towards like a German thing here. Jan. I don't know why. Now, good night together. Yeah. Thank you, Jan, for being here. I don't know if you mean like you're leaving, but if you are, good night. Super happy. Second one. Yeah. Well, cool. I'm super happy to have you here. Very much so. You are German. Yes. That's actually really funny then for some reason that I just make that assumption. But that makes me happy. So I'm very, very happy to have you here. So Guten Abend, I guess is what I would say, if it's the evening time for you right now. I think it is. I think you're pretty much ahead of us, but I'm not sure. But let me make sure I'm keeping up with everybody. You know what? Couple who supports each other is a rare dinosaur. Well, I really appreciate that. Yeah, no, you're right. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and give you some advice you totally didn't ask for, but I'm going to lay it on you anyways. Have you tried Molecule? I have not, Slayum Gaming, but thank you for being here. 1 a.m. over there. Ooh. Oh, yeah. That's definitely, you're up pretty late right now. You're so generous with your energy. Thanks for always answering. I try, but thank you, Jan, for subscribing. It means a lot to me. What does it mean when someone like Aaron says modern American is different from French perfumery? I think you're talking about Aaron Terrence Hughes, my absolute favorite YouTuber in the fragrance sphere, if you are. Basically, it's just the fact that overall, general composition types, create kind of like just any kind of art or even music styles that develop in different regions. It's mostly just kind of, if what you're asking is if I'm thinking about it correctly, it's basically just that kind of idea that depending on which region something comes from, even though a creative person could be from anywhere in the world and do what they want, people are kind of influenced by culture and atmosphere, like everything from architecture to just the food, the spices typically used, kind of like how oud and things of the such and saffron heavy things are very popular in the Middle East. So I like your nose. Do you mean my actual nose or like my taste and fragrance? Because if you mean my actual nose, thanks. You're one of the few people in my life other than my wife to ever say that to me before. So my grandma, who's in the process, not to be sad or anything, but in the process of passing away right now, I literally cracked jokes about my nose. It's one of the few things when she was coherent, as she said the other day, but that I had a big nose and some other things I won't be repeating. But she's very funny. Ha ha ha. But no, thank you so much. But can you show a close-up of the bottles of your favorite Dolce & Gabbana colognes? Sure. I'd love to do that. I mean, I only really got one favorite, two favorites, but they're the same thing. I like the one. I got the one back there. It's pretty decent. And then K, the Eau de Parfum is pretty decent. But to be real with you, these guys right here, I love frosted glass, by the way. My actual nose. Well, thank you, Slay. I appreciate that. So the Eau Intense and then the original Eau de Toilette. Different fragrances, similar enough. Oh, that's one of the most wonderful, clean, fresh, aquatic type of linen scents you've ever smelled in your life, because the way that they incorporated rosemary brings me immense amounts of joy. But the Eau Intense, on the other hand, just got that, that overdose of the performance is what I'm saying. But let me see here. You were given some advice and you got carried off. Would really like to. I'm going to come right back to it. Thank you. When I get comments, like I said, I try to keep up with people. But when it comes to relationships and so forth, just want to make this excessively clear. Like I said, nobody cares. And if people dip out of here between now and when I get out of this subject, so be it. But just going to go ahead and say this. You should not be looking, as people in this day of age are doing, for a partner who's going to be a yes man or a yes woman. A lot of folks these days believe, for some silly impression, especially things like social media and stuff, is encouraging people to only date people and kind of stay with people who seem to agree with everything about you and encourage you to pretty much not grow. Because without friction, you don't grow, you don't develop. I'm not telling you you should be in a relationship where you just have very vicious fights 24/7. You've got to be able to identify from having friction and so forth, what's healthy and what's not in your personal boundaries. As well as I also believe spiritually, there's a little bit further things you can kind of feel if you got a genuine connection with somebody and something's worth fighting for. But in and of itself, I just want you guys to understand, relationships are supposed to be a perfect understanding of we are going to support each other. I've got your back. I might not be able to help you with everything you do, but I do got your back. On the flip side, it needs to be very understood that you don't run away from someone or a relationship or circumstance or even friendships just because you disagree. It should be very okay that you disagree, but you should be able to work together to come to a basis. And somebody or another is going to have to be willing to say they were wrong and apologize and be an example and then stick together. So just wanted to throw that out there, that we live in a world where everybody believes that as soon as something happens they don't like or that they are disagreed with, then like, sorry, this person, screw them. They're no good. That's stupid. And if you feel that way, you've been very much corrupted and you're never going to have anything in this world that lasts. Because just like becoming a very good guitar player, it ain't going to happen because you watch some YouTube videos and snap your fingers. You got to spend a lot of time through pain, through good days, through bad days, working at it, but continuing to work at it. And that's the only way it's going to ever work. So again, that's advice nobody remotely asked for, but I love my wife with all my heart. She's my best friend in the universe, but I've also had some of the hardest times in my life whenever with her together and as a whole and as a team, things we've had to face and so forth, because and against each other as well. We've clashed super hard about all different kinds of stuff, and it was the only way we learned and grew and developed together. And so just letting you know, gentlemen, and if there's any women watching, you're not going to find that perfect man or woman who will not disagree with you and never argue with you, because that's not realistic and that's not the way things were intended to be. So just throwing that out there. But I really appreciate you guys for letting me go down that rabbit hole. Any good dupes of PDM Percival? Actually disappointed in every dupe I've got. To be honest with you, I don't know that many PDM Percival dupes, although, and I do really enjoy PDM Percival, actually. I got the 6.8 fluid ounce bottle. This guy, Fakara by Lattafa, is very much supposed to be like, from what I've been told, a YSL dupe, but it actually has like a little bit of characteristics as well of PDM's Percival. I hate these caps. I really do. I don't like any cap that pops off way too easily. But this one's actually got something in that same vein. But for the most part, I haven't really tried any Percival dupes myself, so I can't really give you any encouragement there. Recently tried Armaf Siege, and it smells like Creed's Silver Mountain Water original formulation. Nowadays, Creed doesn't smell like the actual. So now that you brought that up, let me see. Hopefully this bottle won't fall. You probably already see I've got Siege right there. And I don't know why I said Siege, but right here, ching-a-ching, got me a little bad boy. I do actually really love the melon and the green tea, or the melon and tea profiles that they have in Silver Mountain Water. This is the only one I decided to keep a full bottle of. But I will say, even though it's mildly a bit more on the synthetic style, the Sillage has overall better performance, especially for the price that you pay. Creed is just definitely out. They deserve absolute respect for the innovation that they had once done years and years ago. If you don't know, Creed's been around for a very long time. And at one point in time, they pioneered fragrance profiles in their perfume house that today, as you can see, like hundreds of people are constantly trying to copy and mimic what they've done. But thanks to, unfortunately, buyouts and reformulations and pricing and so forth, they cost just way too much for the performance that just really just not there. So I love some of their fragrances like Milsom Imperial and so forth, but just in and of itself, stuff like Sillage, more synthetic overall, but still definitely a better choice for me personally. Perfume Pride Guild LGBT. I don't know if I keep just making a declaration, but hey, much love and support your way, buddy. What do you recommend as a nice fragrance in a budget for a 14-year-old, such as $50 and smells good as a summer fragrance? Sure. In that case, then I definitely would probably send you, if you want something, like I said, melon kind of green tea, probably Sillage, Club de Nuit Sillage by Armaf. Probably as well, maybe Collector's Edition by Afnan, Supremacy Collector's Edition. This is supposed to be a take on the good old Creed Aventus Absolu, which is a very recent fragrance. It has like a similar DNA to the original Creed Aventus profile, that lemony pineapple type of woodsy notes, but as well it has like apple and so forth kind of blended in there. It's actually a really good performer for the price. And as well, if you want a nice summer fragrance for a cheaper price, like $35, I believe, you can get Hod Lodge's Island, which is a take on Le Beau Le Parfum by Jean-Paul Gaultier. And that bad boy is going to be kind of like a sweet coconutty pina colada feel, light on the citrus, more strong on the beautiful coconut and creamy woodsy feel going on. So thank you, Pratik, for being here from India. Thank you so much for coming through. I always get excited when my buddies from India come through. And have you tried Liam Gray? I have not tried Liam Gray. But just wanted to tell you guys once again, I'm not going to be here super duper much longer, especially my buddy here. You about to go to sleep. I'll always help you out as much as I possibly can. And like I said, it means so much to me that you are saying what you're saying right now. Like, that's really hitting me hard that you enjoyed watching me that much and to talk to me. Armand, you are welcome here every time that I'm streaming. It's not going to be like super often going forward because I'm about to get more busy, about to get back to my normal work schedule overall. But every Wednesday morning, and then if I can, evening as well, I'm going to be streaming, doing 2 different streams a day. As well, Sunday mornings, I try to do it if I can. So guys, come hang out whenever I'm not. If you see me live, please come join, talk about whatever you want. Fragrances, yeah, but it ain't got to be about that. It could be about whatever you want. But as well, yeah, that's probably just pretty much the gist of where I'll stick around, but it means the world to me. For a 14-year-old, I would suggest anything that smells like fresh out of the shower. Yeah, I wish I could suggest Bleu de Chanel, but it costs too much. I know rose is one of your favorite notes. What are some others? Some of my other favorite, wait, what did my wife say? House, the original, perfect for a younger, inexpensive. I love it. It's truly ageless, but definitely a great one for a young person. Cool. Also, my buddy Marcus over here, definitely good suggestion. 524 in India. Heck yeah, that's awesome. But to my buddy over here, Marco, asking me, so what's some of my other favorite notes? Iris, although again, that's not super helpful because that's just another floral note. But definitely most Lily of the Valley materials, but I'm going to go with, other than rose, iris is one of my favorites. I love cardamom. I love saffron. Sorry, you guys, I got to clean my glasses off. I'll be getting oily up in here. But I love cardamom. I love saffron as fragrance notes. Those are some of my perfect fragrance additions. As well, I love certain types of aquatic notes that bring me a lot of joy. Recently, especially after discovering Machino, so I already knew I like tea. I really love tea notes. I kind of also, even though it's a citrus, bergamot's one of my absolute favorite fragrance notes. And most things, it's in a lot of stuff too, whether as a star or a supporting role. But I think of bergamot almost because it's the primary note in Earl Grey tea, almost as a tea fragrance instead of a pure citrus fragrance. So tea notes, bergamot, certain types of things, rosemary. I definitely love pimento berry. Stuff along those lines bring me an awful lot of joy. Hawas, I mean. So that's what you was definitely trying to say. I was like, what's she talking about? Yeah, for a younger person, Hawas is a really good fragrance. And also, just like Ivan here helping you guys out, really, really, really want to continue to encourage you guys. Anybody who stops by my channel, again, this ain't just about me, y'all. This is about everybody. If you guys come here and you see somebody comment something and either I don't see it or they ask something and I don't personally know, I want to continue to encourage you that if you have an answer, perhaps, please, this is a community. It's not just about me, so feel free. Feel free. Have no problem helping each other out if you can. But yeah, Marco, bergamot is definitely one of my other absolute favorite notes. And by the way, with that being said, I kind of was kicking myself when I realized I didn't add it to my fragrance that I'm getting made. On the other hand, I thought about it, and since I already got Rose Absolute, Tuberose, and Iris, I really kind of thought it over, and I was like, where should I go from here? And that's why I was like, I'm going to go with the apple. With apple instead of bergamot, because bergamot would be really nice, but it would kind of sparkle, like you said, and blend in with it. Whereas apple and then a sugar accord to me with Ambroxan, I thought this will be a little different. So super excited to see how that turns out. Maison Alhambra Daring Blue is good for your age. I hope maybe he can try that out. I haven't personally tried that. What's the green bottle called again? Sorry about that. Hey, no problem at all, buddy. Absolutely no problem. This is KHADLAJ. It's pronounced Hadlaj, so the K is silent, but this is Hadlaj, and then the fragrance name is Island. So definitely a really good choice for somebody your age to wear around this time. But like I said, this Moschino Toy Boy is fantastic because it's pear and cucumber and rose, and it was just a combination like I literally never ever saw coming, and I love it so much. Show the bottle because even I can't remember how to spell it. I appreciate that my wife is trying to help out right now. As you guys have heard before, when I say that rose and floral notes are my absolute favorite fragrance notes because I love them and they make me think about gardens. They make me think about flowers because of my wife. She professionally has worked with flowers ever since we met. And the very first thing, one of the first things we ever did together was go to the rose gardens where we live. Not going to say where we live because, again, specifically speaking, that could give information I don't want out there. But where we are, that's one of the first things we ever did was go have a picnic date with Chinese food at the Flower and the Rose Garden. So anything that involves flowers makes me think about her and brings me so much joy. So definitely, if you guys ever have any rose fragrances you'd like to suggest that you haven't heard me personally talk about, please, by all means, feel free to suggest them and throw them my way. Have you tried Oud Touch? I have not, Marcus, but as I always say, if there's something I haven't heard of, I'd love to have it added to my own personal list, and maybe one day I'll be able to get my hands on it. Guess Creed's best-selling perfume. I'd like to assume it's probably Creed Aventus. If it ain't that, I'm thinking maybe Green Irish Tweed, but probably Creed Aventus is what I would go for if I had to guess. On the other hand, I will say the Absolute's been popping here lately because a lot of people are kind of interested, although it's excessively expensive, and Viking. And then Santal. You know what? There's a lot of them. It could be anything, but probably Creed Aventus. It's a good rose oud. Have you tried any fragrances that has lava rock note? I have not. I didn't even know that was even a note in the fragrance. I mean, I figure it's probably going to be a little bit salt style, but I'm not sure. But Slayum Gaming, let me know. I do not know actually what their primary was that's being sold. But Daring Blue, Oud Touch, that's the one that you said is a good rose oud. Thank you, Marcus. I really appreciate that. And not Green Irish Tweed. Uh-oh. That's kind of tricky for me then. It's got to be like Silver Mountain Water or something, if not Milsom Imperial. Because like, of all the Creed fragrances, I couldn't imagine what else sells more than that. Yeah, Viking? Is that what it is? I saw it in Fragrantica, and I was wondering how that would smell. Which one are you talking about? The lava rock? No, like I said, I haven't smelled anything like that. Creed's best-selling perfume is Silver Mountain Water. Wow. Well, I'm happy to know then of the only one that I have a full bottle of is the one that's like their bestseller. That surprises me though. But like I said, the melon and the tea notes is fantastic. Ooh. I do love this. Lava rock notes, probably new Terre d'Hermes. You know what? Terre d'Hermes is actually one that I'm not even really a fan of. I know a lot of people love it, but it's like a vetiver-ish kind of fragrance. And to be real with you, that's actually a note profile that I'm not really a fan of. We have Silver Kills this one. I might have to check that out. So I'm going to go ahead and say this now. We're creeping up on the 2-hour mark. And for me tonight, personally, I'm ready to go do a little chilling. So I don't always do my streams this long. Sometimes I do an hour. Sometimes I've done 3.5 hours. It just depends. I would go longer with you guys, but this evening I'm starting to get tired. So you guys are more than welcome to continue to ask questions. But as always, people who are usuals here, you know what I'm about to say. To anybody who's not a usual here, I'm going to go ahead and let you know now. You're more than welcome to dip out if you would like to during this. That's totally okay. I personally, as I said earlier, perfectly so believe in God. I am a Christian, but I respect and have studied all the other belief systems thoroughly, not to argue or debate, but just to have understanding and respect. So if you're Muslim, if you're Hindu, if you're Buddhist, you're more than welcome to stick around for this. I'm about to include you all. But as a Christian, a person who loves each and every one of you and appreciates y'all, I typically pray at the ending of my streams. And sometimes it's a little bit more about God in my streams as a whole, sometimes not. But either way, that's how I end my streams, and you're welcome to stay for it. So if you want to get out of here, you can. If you don't want to be involved with the prayer, no matter who you are, where you come from, you're also more than welcome to continue to type some questions. And when the prayer is over, I will get back to those before we end the stream. So just wanted to give you guys a warning so I don't just randomly start doing it and catch you off guard. And again, you're more than welcome to check out if you want to. I'm not asking you to stay, but everybody's welcome. So what is your take on Hamra Dukhan? I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there, Unknown Warrior. By the way, that's an awesome name. I really like Unknown Warrior. That's fun. So Dukhan is excessively redundant. I have all three of the Hamras, and I want you to know, Kawa's my favorite. The original is second place. Dukhan's last. Reason is because Dukhan's basically pointless for the price that you pay as well. It is the original, but with a different opening, and then it drives down to the exact same. So Kawa is different because, it has mild note alterations that give it a little bit more like snickerdoodle sweetness to it. But the new one, Dukhan, is just straight up the original one, but with a different opening with the pimento berry and so forth added to it. So totally unnecessary. Not worth buying. Again, I'm not getting paid by any of these people. I'm not sponsored by nobody, so I can say whatever I want because I want to care about you guys' pockets, so you're not just throwing away money for nothing. And honestly, though I do like Latafa, and no disrespect to them, and hopefully I get to go to their emporiums and stuff one day, but I think it was kind of dumb for them to or maybe not necessarily right for them to create this new fragrance and only mildly change the start just to get another thing popping for you guys to buy. But business is business, whatever. Let's see here. Silver Clone, Silver Mountain Water. It's like $2 to $3. Oh my goodness. How you like them apples? I did not know that. But what is the best freshie? For me personally, kind of depends on who you are. But I'm going to say either Bleu de Chanel Parfum, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense, the Paradise Garden Edition of Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Le Parfum. And then I actually do still personally think of Eros Parfum as like a freshie, although it's not completely. But something along those lines is what I would say. And if you really allowed me some wiggle room, Xerjoff's 40 knots would probably overall take the cake. But it just depends on how you feel about that being fresh or not. Do you own any fragrance from Riffs? I actually do. So I'll talk about that one real fast before I do my ending prayer. Most underrated fragrance YouTuber. Once again, that is if you're talking about me, hopefully I didn't miss anything. But if you're talking about me, thank you. Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. Like I said, this crap you guys say, it ain't crap, but this stuff you guys say does not go to my head. It brings me excessive amounts of a gratitude. And thank you so much. Abdullah, I cherish you, buddy. And again, it just means the world to me that you even think that whatsoever. With that being said, I've got the Noor, I think that's how you say it, by Riffs. I usually haven't even worn this one yet, so I can't give you my thoughts on its performance. But I will say it's got this one will choke you out. So again, I can't tell you if it's got good performance because you can't really be tricked by a fragrance having a really powerful opening. That doesn't mean anything in the long term. Like I said earlier, Viktor and Rolf's Spice Bomb Extreme has an excessively powerful opening, but it doesn't last longer than roughly about 6 hours or so. So don't want to let you get fooled. Barrett, by the way, thank you for being here, buddy. I appreciate you. But this guy has a pretty decent atomizer. It's more of that really nice, dense shooter, but and I gotta be careful. This actually does make you cough. Whew. Oh my goodness. In a way, with less waffle cone sweetness, it's almost kind of like Bianco Latte. But this is it a clone of Viktor and Rolf? No, it's not. I was just bringing up the point that it has a very powerful opening, but I can't tell you whether or not this has really good overall performance. That's the only fragrance by that company that I have by Riff so far, but I would like to check out more of their stuff in the future. Is Hadlaj Island worth it? 100%. if you don't want to spend the money to get the original, I would definitely say get Hot Dodge Island. It's a fantastic choice. Is Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male good? It is good, but I will say that it's actually been discontinued. That doesn't mean you can't get your hands on it. If you go to fragrancenet.com, you can still get a bottle for a really good price. But I will say, it's not exactly like it, but that's the Cal Cologne edition. My bad. But it's not exactly perfectly like it. But mildly in the same vein, Rayhan's Lion is similar to an Ultra Male take. It just is missing that little something like a lot of dupes are. But for what it's worth, I think this was like $35 or something in that range. So I would say get your hands on this if you want that feel. But yeah, Ultra Male has been discontinued. And it would definitely, I love Jean Paul Gaultier, all their fragrances, but that was the one where I was like, I don't really need this. Very, very youthful. Everybody like this stream and go check out the other Tyler French, dude, I haven't seen you in forever. Oh, and I'm reconnecting. Hold on, there you are. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I think you would like Cabaret. I agree, super cheap. Thank you, Capricorn Flower. It's an awesome name, and I definitely would like to check that out. Have Cafe Noir from the same house? I do not. But super happy to see you, Tyler French, and I appreciate you telling people. I know you've been working. I know you've been super busy, dude, but I'm very happy to see you here now. It brings me lots of joy. That's a clone of Paradise Gardens. What is? Oh, what is? Sorry, okay. I personally don't know, actually. I don't even know if they have a clone of Paradise Gardens. I'm sure somebody has, but I just got the original bottle, and I love it, but I don't have a clone or know any yet. What do you think about Dylan Blue? I think that it is a very good teenager fragrance, but it's just mostly a strong black pepper fragrance. And to me, I'm often saying that popular fragrances are not overrated like people say. You know, I love Sauvage Parfum and ETC, stuff like that. Paco Rabanne Elixir. That one, on the other hand, I will say is very much not my style. It's a good fragrance, but I don't like it. My wife doesn't really like it. If you want something similar, but even better, more mature, more any age, could be young, could be old. The new Capri in Love by Dolce & Gabbana. This is a black pepper fragrance, but it has undertones of fig and as well patchouli. And this is excellently blended. So if you like that black pepper vibe that you get out of Dylan Blue, but you want something that's got like a little bit of a mild sweetness and like a richness to it, definitely get Capri in Love. It's an eau de parfum compared to the other one being just an eau de toilette, and lasts all day. Very good. I love that one. Wait a minute. How long did it take you to build this collection, and how many bottles do you own? So I have roughly 147 bottles at the moment, most of which I still haven't even done reviews for yet. So my good buddy Tyler French here, again, God bless you, man. So happy to see you. Like, I've been missing you, man, and I know you've been super busy, super happy you're here. But like he said, real quick, I do encourage you guys, if you're willing to do so, to hit the like button, because that really helps these videos and the algorithm. Be super cool before I hop off here. Like I'm about to do, like I said, I am about to do my ending prayer, but be really awesome if you guys could help me at least get to 40 likes. I know that might not matter to you guys, and that sounds like some douchey YouTuber salesman stuff, but trust me, it definitely helps me out. Wow, you guys actually started really helping me a lot there. Cool, thank you. Well, anyway, I just want to throw this out there. Like he said, when I'm done with these streams, if you're willing to, please go check out my other actual YouTube videos, because that's what really helps the channel a lot. YouTube still giving me the old shamboozle, giving me credit for my watch hours. But ever since I started doing these stream with you guys, they've been flying it like a freight train. So I'm still not even getting paid for this yet. So yeah, these fragrances right here, just to answer your question, this took a couple months to put together, honestly, after we sold our house and the opportunity came to be. And some other things were going on that I'm not really, I probably can't talk about because it's not happening anymore. So long story short, all these right here was acquired after we sold the house. So at least most of this I bought myself, basically. And so, but that was an opportunity that most people are not going to have. So like I keep saying, if you're not a reviewer like me and I'm not in the situations that I've been in, I can't really encourage people to try to even aim for having a collection like this. It's really not worth it. And thank you, Marcus, for liking. Thank you, Barrett. Really appreciate you guys like so very much. Stronger With You Intensely. I have only a sample of that one. A good buddy of mine, Sam, who I've talked about a lot, he's got the full bottle, and he's the one who actually initially introduced me to Stronger With You. But behind my silver play button here, I've got the new Parfum edition. That's personally my favorite. And by the way, you guys are awesome. This is the highest amount of likes I ever got on a live stream before. Just started streaming a couple weeks ago, and like, you're bringing me excessive amounts of joy. So thank you guys. It means the world to me. But so yeah, with that being said, definitely like the Parfum edition the most intensely, and Sandalwood by Stronger With You by Armani are in the second place. And then after that, I'm going to do the Absolutely. That's my personal rankings. But again, thank you guys so very much. I'm trying to keep up with you guys the best that I can. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. But have you tried Bed Al Oud? I actually have, and it's pretty good. I like the Honor and Glory myself, but and does Vulcan Sable, is Vulcan Sable worth it? Actually, to be honest with you, even though I'll be hating on Vulcan Few because it's just not as big of a monster bomb as a lot of people say it is, Sable's actually really nice. This one I haven't smelled the original. I smelled the God of Fire, and actually, like I said, if you have to have one, even though I don't really care for either one of them, it's not a great performer, but this is decent enough for the price, although it's still overpriced. Vulcan Sable, on the other hand, is quite a bit better of a performer. Similar, this is the same fragrance house who made Liquid Brune and Coco Morado and all that, so they know what they're doing. But just this one was kind of like a dud for me. But the Vulcan Sable, I actually do kind of encourage people if you want something in that realm. It's really, really nice, and I like the bottle. Some people say it's tacky. I personally like it. Do you have Vicanto? I do not. Also, any Alba Tanya scents? I'm so happy you asked that because I forget to bring this up all the time. I'd only have one. I got it because I love rose fragrances. This is actually one of my favorite rose fragrances that I have. This is Alba Tanya's Rose Mystery Intense. This is actually amazing. Also, I got Scepter Malachite, and I do steer people that direction more because the price is better overall. Cayenne Classic is fire. Heck yeah. Thank you guys for supporting each other here and helping each other out. Wondering if you should grab it. Tyler, which one was you talking about? I'm sorry, I didn't see. Ironically, I love Office for Man. Hey, Nathan, actually, thank you for bringing that up. Somebody asked me at the beginning of this stream if I have Office or Date, and I was saying I've not tried any Jeremy Fragrance fragrances yet, so I don't know if they're any good. So thank you for being here and letting me know that, because if you actually really like it, that gives me encouragement to maybe try it at some point. Got to go. Have a good night. Well, you know what, buddy? Have a fantastic night. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here and watch. And God bless you, man. I hope you sleep very, very well. So Tyler French. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, depending on the price, I would say go for it and get yourself a bottle. Real fast, just throwing this out there. By the way, just also want to say this. I just farted, so if anybody smelled, if anybody heard that, my bad. I don't know how strong these microphones are. If you didn't hear it, I'm lying. I didn't do that. But anyway, yeah, Alba Tanya's Rose Mystery. This is a phenomenal, incredible rose fragrance. I don't know exactly what it reminds me of. I cannot remember what the notes for this was supposed to be. But dude, if you want to get you a fantastic, regal, smelly fragrance, get the Redbeard. Oh, heck yeah, dude. Redbeard just came in. That's what I'm talking about. That's my buddy Jonathan Redbeard over here, you guys. Just got to let you know he's one of the most awesome people in the world. But Prada L'Homme Intense. Detroit, I don't have that myself. Smelled it before. I'm not the biggest Prada fan. It doesn't have the best performance in the universe, but I will say it's not a bad fragrance. So I haven't tried it a lot, so I don't want to give you any like bad information. So I would say just give it a shot yourself. If anybody else here has tried it and you really like it, feel free to speak on my behalf. I do not have Attar. By the way, one more time, Capricorn Flower. It's an awesome name. But just want to go ahead and throw this out there. I'm going to go ahead and do my little prayer real fast. Again, if you don't want to be here for that, it's totally fine. But regardless of who you are, where you're from, what you believe, you're more than welcome to be a part of my prayer real quick. And if you don't believe anything or whatever, please feel free to go ahead and keep commenting some questions if you have any while I do it. That's more than fine. I don't see it as any disrespect. Anyway, dear Father in heaven, thank you so much for this really awesome, beautiful day that I got to have. It was wonderful. I got to study your word earlier and just spend a beautiful time hanging out. One of my favorite places in the world. I got to stream this morning and talk to so many wonderful people, and some of them have been able to come through again tonight during this stream. And I just want to thank you so much for this life and these beautiful opportunities. I thank you, Lord in heaven, for the creative art of perfumery and how it's been able to tie people together, like blowing my mind. Tying people together from all around the world. I can't even believe I get to talk to these people and just speak about you and speak about perfumery and so many other different aspects of life, like marriage and friendship and so forth. Like, God, I just pray for blessings for all these people who are here, and that they, again, as usual, that I always ask for, that they come to know they have meaning and value. I don't know what these people are going through. If anything, we're all going through something. But I just pray that they end up having peace in their hearts and they just have those beautiful little moments of real sustained happiness. And and come to see what's important in life, and that we're able to let go of the things that aren't. And just thank you so much for hobbies and for connections. It just means so much to me, God, for all these people who are here, and for you and your love and grace and mercy. Like, it's the best, it's the most magical thing. I just can hardly believe it that I even get to experience this. So in the name of Jesus, I thank you for your grace and your mercy and your continued forgiveness. And every just day you just carry me on and let me have these opportunities. So I pray for blessings for all these people in the name of Jesus, no matter who they are, where they come from. I send oceans of love. I hope they come to know you and just get to experience the fullness of beauty in this life. So in your name, Jesus, thank you for all this. Amen. So like I said, if it's not for everybody, I totally understand that. Super duper respect. But you guys are always welcome to come here, hang out, shoot the breeze while I'm doing that, or just whatever else you want. But I pray for you guys, no matter who you are, where you come from, because I believe in God myself. I've had a lot of wonderful experiences in my life that have brought me to that point. And every day for me truly is a blessing. And you guys are blessings for me as well, whether you think so or not. Like, seriously, it's incredible that I even get to talk to y'all. So I love you. Like, we don't know each other, but I really do love you guys, because this is sometimes I complain about things not going exactly how I'd like it to, even with this channel, but it's hard to believe I even get to talk about fragrances with y'all. Y'all are cool. But hey, I was thinking about you. Okay, like Tom Ford, right? Seriously, it's kind of in the same vein. National Secret Woods. Huh. Interesting. I've not heard of National Secret Woods. Costume National Secret Woods. Thank you for bringing that up. If you could, by the way, I'm sorry that I didn't get you on PlayStation just yet. It was a very busy time this weekend, but I definitely want to do that. But thank you for bringing that up. You know, it's really a great fragrance, long-lasting. My girl loves it, got compliments. I'm not sure if you're answering somebody else's question, but if you are, that's really, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, absolutely, y'all. Thank you so much for coming through here. So yeah, you know me, you love me. I know I do, Redbeard. I love you so much, and I appreciate you very, very, very dearly. By the way, just a quick side note. It actually shocked me recently, because I've loved 1 Million Elixir by Paco Rabanne for a long time. Did not know until recently this is a rose fragrance. It always had like a smell to it that was pulling me towards it, and I was like, what is that? I actually looked it up, and turns out, yeah, apple and rose and basically amber and stuff is like the primary notes, but damask, rose, and apple and Divana are like the primary things going on here. Really shocked me, because I hate the atomizer, by the way. I'm pretty sure you all know that. That didn't help my case. That's one of those very rare occurrences that it didn't come out like dog pee on me. But I love this. It reminds me, baby powder with a tuxedo on. I like that. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for coming through. It is time for me to go ahead and end this bad boy, but please, again, I'll be back on here probably Sunday morning. Who knows? Maybe some nights of the week I'll even start doing this a little more regularly. Like, it is excessively fun for me to hang out with y'all and just shoot the breeze. I love that one too. Oh yeah, my wife loves this one. So again, if anybody doesn't know, if you ever hear and you see Jess Cabot Love You, that's my wife on her old account, and she definitely really loves the 1 Million Elixir. I think that her favorite the other day was the 1 Million Gold, though. I don't remember what the notes are, but she really loves that one too. Thanks, Douglas. Much love. Much love to you, Tyler. I appreciate you, and I hope that work continues to do well for you. Yes, come back during the week. Well, cool then. I will try to do that as much. I'm going to go ahead and put this up, because it's not like it matters. You know what? I really might as well stop putting this in the frame, because I thought if I did it, I like you guys seeing my fragrances more. I thought if I had my silver play button in the frame, maybe it would like boost people believing I have like, you know, like any type of reason to listen to what I've got to say. But I realized that it really doesn't even make a difference. So if Yuvraj was here, he's another one of my buddies from India, he'd be like, where's the silver baddie? But I think it's probably better that I just let you guys see the full Shaduki. Anyways, have you ever smelled Tom Ford Fabulous? I have. And I've also smelled Fabulous Parfum. And I got to tell you, I actually like it. So my buddy Delaney, I actually probably shouldn't tell you where he works, but a good buddy of mine, Delaney, who works at a store where they have fragrances, he likes to show me layering. And he actually did Fabulous by Tom Ford Parfum. I believe it was mixed with the Rose Jo Malone. There's a Rose Jo Malone, and he layered those two for me. And it was fantastic. He also did the same thing with the Oud Wood by Tom Ford, and it was amazing. Canceled? That's a fun name. I like that. Man, it was extremely hot here in Florida today. I bet it was. I bet that was excessively hot, and I'm glad that I'm not there. No offense to you, buddy, but let's just say if we hang out, I would probably prefer you find your way up here, because I don't want to get eaten by alligators while I'm sweating my skin off. But I'm just kidding. We probably come down there one day and say what's up. Hello, boss. What's up? Super happy to have you here. Literally just did my little closeout prayer. I'm going to be ending the stream here in just a second. So sorry for anybody who's coming in right now, but I will be back Sunday, like I said. He also mixed the peach Tom Ford and the cherry one. He did. So my buddy also did that as well. He mixed the peach Tom Ford, bitter peach, I think is what it's called, with lost cherry. Was it lost cherry or electric cherry? It was electric cherry. I'm sorry. He did bitter peach and electric cherry. It was actually pretty decent. I like lost cherry myself. I didn't really like electric cherry that much, but the way he did it was actually pretty nice. I have so many questions about fragrances, and also you live towards the city. Okay, you trying to take me to Disney World or whatever it is. But so I'll give you this. I'll do maybe 3 more questions. So go ahead. And again, like I said, I'll be back again this weekend and we'll hang out. And keep your questions. Keep your questions as much as you can and be here the next time. Give you more incentive to come back. Are there any good frankincense fragrances? There actually is. So what I'm about to show you to start with is not necessarily a frankincense fragrance, but it smells just like another one. So Ebon Fume, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I am, maybe. Ebon Fume by Tom Ford. This actually smells dangerously similar to Myrrh Mystere by the same company, and it has like a myrrh frankincense type of vibe to it. But outside of that, now that I'm actually thinking about it, I cannot remember. I was thinking of myrrh. No, sorry. What is it called? Not Myrrh Mystere, but they have a frankincense fragrance by Tom Ford, but I can't remember what it's called. So I'm sorry. I'm brain farting right now because I'm tired, so I actually can't help you. But there are good ones out there. Have you looked into Acqua di Parma yet? I have not. Have you got Taratti Blue? I don't. That's actually on the list of things I'd like to get my hands on, but I'm not getting any more fragrances for just a little while because I've already got so many to go through. I am about to put this on real quick, though, kind of as a little night-night smell. I don't want to... Oh, I love that so much. Armani Code... Wow, I'm talking into the fragrance now. Armani Code Parfum. That is a fantastic night-night smell. I don't know about you guys, but I like to put a little something on. I know Redbeard does. He likes putting on a fragrance where he goes to sleep. Have you smelled the Drake fragrance? That is so funny you asked that because my buddy who was here at TT Fragrances earlier, who had to go a long time ago, he's a little 15-year-old buddy doing his little thing on his channel. He actually asked me about that. He just got that, and he said that he really, really likes it. I haven't smelled the Drake fragrance, so I don't know how it is, but he said it's pretty good. I got Argos today. I was thinking about sending it to you, like in a decant. Hey, if you're willing to do that, I would appreciate that very much. Again, I haven't got my nose on really any of those Argos fragrances, but I want to. That's one of the fragrance houses that's on my list of things to do right now. Maison Crivelli fragrances, and then Une Nuit Nomade, and then Argos are pretty much the top, and Mind Games. Those 4 fragrance houses are on my hit list for like next things I really want to add to the bundle. It's a little bit left in it. Well, hey, like I said, if you're willing to do so, I'd really appreciate that. Do they do the oval-shaped body for Armani Code still? I don't know if they have a variation of that, but I had the Eau de Toilette edition from my friend Sam, and then this is my favorite one, the Parfum, and this is just how this one's particularly shaped. But I think I know which one you're talking about. There used to be a really cool, interesting bottle shape, but I don't have that personally. What do you think about Initio? They are a fantastic enough fragrance house. Not my favorite, but my wife absolutely, absolutely loves the Side Effect. This is one of her when she did a top 10 fragrances for me. This is one she picked out. Oud for Greatness, the original, is really nice. I don't really care too much for Oud for Greatness Neo. Back there, I've got Paragon. But Atomic Rose and Blessed Baraka are some fantastic ones. I can't remember what the Aphrodisiac one's called or whatever, but it's also pretty nice too. I wish my son was into fragrance like you. He's stuck on Sauvage. Hey, look, I like Sauvage Parfum myself. Sorry, excuse me. Do I have any Louis Vuitton fragrances? You'll hear me say this a lot. By the way, maybe one day Capricorn, maybe your son will be. I used to have it when it was really good. Heck yeah, that's awesome. But do you have any Louis Vuitton fragrances? You'll hear me say this all the time. I'm not a Louis Vuitton person. They're super hyped up on TikTok as far as I know. And they're not bad, but they're excessively basic for the price that you pay. If you're going to pay that price, get you a Xerjoff. Plenty of beautiful options for winter, fall, spring, summertime, whatever, all across the board. All incredible. You can get them for amazing prices as well on discounters. Amouage as well. For me, Louis Vuitton fragrance is just way overblown. But they are still decent enough. Pacific Chill, Imagination, Ombre Nomad, different realms. So some people really love them. I just don't encourage it because they cost too much. But that's just me. Don't let him fool you. You know what's crazy? So one of these, even though like I don't do this anymore, like I said, when I first got into fragrances, I was kind of like giving baby opinions on stuff and doing reviews, and then now I look back and kind of eat my words. Like I review fragrances like way ahead of time. Like I build up stock videos and then post them on a schedule. And I reviewed like a very long time ago Alexandria 2. And at the time when I posted the review, I was like, this was made very well, but I don't like it. I hate it. It's horrible to me, but it was made really good. And then like within the next 2 weeks, I fell in love with it and it became one of my favorites of all time. So now I was like, cool, well, at least fragrances that I've changed my mind about, I can go back and do them later. I laughed in my head earlier. I was like, what if one day I end up becoming like a super duper Louis Vuitton guy. And next thing you know, I'm in here like wearing Louis Vuitton outfits with a bag over my shoulder. And I've just like got Louis Vuitton all on the shelf behind me. And I'm just like walking in the camera. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to reenact it for you. Imagine I just walk in here like this. I'm sorry, you guys, I like Louis Vuitton now. That's not going to ever happen. But imagine if it did happen. It's never going to, but if it did, you guys are more than welcome to egg me if you ever see me in person. But no, seriously, it's not really my personal thing, but I like getting you going. Yeah, oh yeah, Red Beard definitely does. But Alexandria 2 is definitely fantastic. It's just like I said, it's excessively expensive because even on discounters, the full bottle here, the 100 mil, I think is like $320 or something. So it's an extrait de parfum. Like I said, it's a pure doohickey, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. I should really start doing all my videos like that. Cut the lights off and come in here all chunky boy smooth and be like, what's up, y'all? Favorite Xerjoff? That one's definitely going to be Naxos. I know. It's the most basic of all the Xerjoffs to go for. But Naxos, More Than Words, 40 Knots. So in order in particular, Naxos and 40 Knots are basically tied for me. And then More Than Words, Torino 23, Zephyro, and actually Alexandria 2, and then Zephyro. No, I scratch all that. Let me take that back. Naxos with 40 Knots, and then Opera. I love Opera so much. Not for me. It's actually a fragrance my wife wears, but it's like a super duper bomb. Probably one of the strongest Xerjoffs that exists. Your wife's going to get you. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. For real, if I start hating you hyping up Louis Vuitton, then I know you've been cloned. Yeah, if you're in here, oh man, I love me some Louis Vuitton, then something has happened. Aliens have extracted me and they've taken over my body. That's all you need to know. If you ever hear me say anything like that, also if you hear me saying that like I'm crazy about vetiver, if you hear me say, oh boy, I love me some vetiver fragrances now, y'all better go ahead and assume I'm a skinwalker and something strange has happened because I'm not me anymore. But yes. So far, it's 40 knots for me because it's the only one I got. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Nothing wrong with that at all. Naxos is nice. It's one of my daily ones, and it can be a bit cloying. For some people, it definitely can. I can see that because of the sweet honey notes and the sweet tobacco leaf, so I could totally get that. Let me see what time it is. I just get to going and going and going. It scared me. I had a random, I don't know why Instagram sends me like stupid alerts from stuff that has nothing to do with me. This is like a random person apparently posted hanging out on your front porch. And I was like, what? But actually it was a notification for somebody just live streaming some stupid crap. So I'm very glad that's not me because I was about to be like, that's not cool. Gucci, Prada, all them guys aren't charging crazy prices on their stuff. So why them? Who really knows? Who really knows, to be honest with you? It's a crazy world we live in, where some people just decide to jack the prices up like nut jobs, similar to Creed. But anyways, with all that being said, here's the only thing I'm going to ask. There's only 17 people watching right now, but I'm thankful for you 17 people. If there's anybody who hasn't hit the like button just yet, please do so, and I'm only asking for a reason. This is the most likes I've ever got on a stream before. Brings me lots of joy, and it would be super cool if I could end it off on 50. If not, that's fine. I appreciate it. Either way, you guys have been awesome. But if anybody's watching right now and you haven't hit the like button yet, that'd be super duper awesome, super totally chill if you could do so. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and allow you guys. Look at that. I said that and one person dropped out. Ugh. I guess I'm just kidding. Ha ha ha. Now 49. Yes, we're so close. We're so close. We're almost to 50. That'd be super cool. Maybe it'll happen. Well, anyway. like I said, if any of you knuckleheads got any time, got any more questions you'd like to ask, please feel free to do so before I go. I'm going to give it a chance for that. All right. Forget y'all. We just hit 50. I'm out of here. I'm just kidding. No, I appreciate you guys so much for being here. It means the world to me that y'all stopped through, and I'll be seeing y'all again very soon. 51. All right, now you guys are just trying to be funny. But no, I'm just kidding. I thank you so much. Marcus, best man, Sarah. Personally, you guys are going to disagree with this, and that's okay. You know I love Rose. Rose is Greedy by Mancera. It's my personal favorite. But if you want to know which one's the overall, like, best, that's tough because Instant Crush is like the super classic that everybody knows about. I'd have to say, though, it's either Red Tobacco Intense, me again, just my opinion, or Oud Lemon Mint. I really like that one as well. It's a very good choice. They're all really good, though. Rose's Vanille Cosmic Pepper is actually really awesome, very mass appealing. Cedrat Bois Intense, very awesome. Thank you guys again also for getting me to 52 likes. That's really, really cool. How do you feel? I like baked beans better than Sarah. I like that one. Never tried that before. We're going to go get us a bottle of pork and beans by Mancera. That's my favorite. I love pork and beans, and I love chicken noodle soup by Mancera. That's my favorite. But no, seriously. Thank you for saying that. Maybe they have baked mac and cheese and meatloaf by Mancera too. Those are my favorites. I don't know about you guys. Has anybody had the new pepperoni pizza as well? It's pretty good. It's hoagie style. But how do you feel about clone stitches? Thank you for coming through and asking. I'm probably going to walk away from this conversation in stitches for my answer, but I don't like them a lot. I like them some. Don't get me wrong. They have a place. They do. They severely lack creativity. Sometimes certain fragrance houses do a little twisteroo and make them something else. For the most part, though, I love the true creativity in the art of perfumery. But I will say that I do respect the idea of somebody who's not just looking to like throw away hundreds of dollars to have as many cheap fragrances as they can. But if somebody just really, tight and they want to smell good and they have profile they really love, then in that case I appreciate clones and dupes. So I don't think they're not creative necessarily speaking most of the time, but for what it's worth, it's not like it really matters to a lot of people. So it does matter to me, but for the most part I think they have their place. So no offense to anybody who loves clones. That's totally fine. Thank you, Stitches, for subscribing as well. I really appreciate that. That means a whole lot to me. Like I said, any of y'all who subscribe really means a lot to me. And I don't know if you guys heard, but recently Chef Boyardee came out with their new Creed fragrance, and it's fantastic. It's ravioli. It's the beef kind too. It's pretty nice. It's not good for a hot day. It's mostly a wintertime fragrance, and they also have their ricotta edition, but good stuff. Have you tried Eliane fragrances? I have not. So I've seen that Curly fragrance. Is that her actual brand, or does she just have a fragrance coming out through them? Don't you put no hand on the forehead, Marcus. Don't you hand on the forehead, me buddy. Just kidding. You can do that if you want to. See? But no, I haven't tried any of those fragrances yet. I can't remember, though, if she's just got a fragrance through them or if that's her own brand. But I've seen her talk about them a lot on her page. I don't personally align with a lot of Curly Fragrance's opinions about stuff as well. She's one of those people, like I'm always talking about, no hate towards her, but she's definitely one of those people who like gets sent a lot of free stuff and gets paid ads to like talk about fragrances a lot. So I'm not necessarily on board with a lot of stuff she puts out there. I very much prefer people who are honest about fragrances instead of hyping up crap just because they get it for free. Again, can't stress enough, I paid for all this, so you guys' support brings me lots of joy. But definitely just got to throw that out there. Curly's one of those people who very much is like, I just don't know a lot. I just don't trust a lot of her personal opinions as far as fragrances are concerned. Andrew, are there any, from what I understand, it's her and Two Guys Fragrance Company. Interesting. I might have to try out at least one of them just to see what it's all about. But thank you, Darian, for being here. And I don't mean no hate towards her, by the way, as a person or nothing. I just, like I said, as you know, I'm passionate about fragrances, and I don't like people unethically like encouraging people to buy crap just because they're getting paid to say it. Trust me, also, TikTok pays dirt money. It's 0.04 cents per 1,000 views, so you don't even get paid enough on those things to lie about fragrances. Just throwing that out there. And Capricorn, that's awesome. Andrew, are there any fragrances which make you feel like $1 million? Well, it's funny you should ask, because I've got a gold bar right here. It says $1 million on it, if you didn't know. No, I would say something that makes me feel like $1 million, definitely going to be, again, Oud Silk Mood Extrait de Parfum by Maison Francis Kirkjohn, 40 Knots, and Naxos by Xerjoff. I'd say those definitely make me feel that way. And probably, there's a handful more, but I think I'm going to stick around that realm right there. And oddly enough, again, Sauvage Parfum is actually extremely very nice for me personally. Jubilation actually does smell Omar. It does smell a lot like royalty. I was thinking about saying this one, and I was like, I don't wear it a lot, though, for me personally, but it is like an agarwood oud type of feel, but it done it very soft and well that, like, compared to Amawage's silver oud, this is very appealing for most people. Do you have any Avon? I do not. My mom actually used to sell Avon when I was a kid. Just be honest, man. That's what people should, That's true, but I do get a little, I don't like bringing up when I'm talking about people like, getting paid for crap, I get worried though about saying people's names and stuff because I don't want, like, you never know. That crap could come back on me one day. Like, even if it does, it doesn't really matter what they gonna do. But I have thought about that before. If I ever actually like said a creator's name who I know like just pushes a lot of junk that they shouldn't be, then all of a sudden they magically pop up in my comment section. It's like, you piece of crap, what are you doing? Don't be talking about me like that. And the next thing you know, I gotta be like, oh, I'm sorry. Stop lying to people, I guess. But do you have any Argos? I do not. So that's actually what I was saying earlier is one of the fragrance houses that's definitely on my hit list, and I can't wait to get a hold of. Xerjoff Opera. Yeah, my wife loves Xerjoff Opera, and when we tried the Mind Game ones the other day, she went absolutely crazy about it. Make you feel like you own a yacht and have 10 horses. We can only dream. Bruh brought me a fragrance from Avon, and it was fire. Heck yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Like I said, Avon, they do what they do. They get the fragrances out there. Is Altair worth the hype? PDM sends me bottles to influencers like Initio. So Altair in and of itself is a very nice fragrance. Obviously, people are copying the crap out of it. Very nice orange blossom vanilla pod fragrance. But I will say it's like the number one fragrance that has been perfectly duped, that it's completely pointless to buy at this point. Normally, I don't say things like that because a lot of times even dupes just are missing something from the luxury of a well-done fragrance. But Altair, on the other hand, it don't matter if you get Hot Lodge's Vanilla Dunes. It don't matter if you get Liquid Brune over here, which my wife prefers Vanilla Dunes. But the new bad boy by these awesome guys, Sensual Obsessions, Eagle Star. Personally, this is the best one that I've come across so far. It sits right in between the other two, but very, very strong. So you got 3 like already right there, incredible options instead of Altair. So love the energy here. I love that you subscribe. It means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. Dude, I know he's talking about some of them are pretty good. Yeah, you know what? That's what we're just going to start doing. Screw all the rest of these fragrances. We're going to start hitting up Avon. And like, I'm not trying to make fun of using Avon. I'm just saying straight up, what if we did that? What if we got a catalog out? I was actually about to make a joke that I really shouldn't have. I was going to say, what if we got a hold of somebody's credit card and we all just got on here and start making phone calls and ordering fragrances and junk? But I would never do that. I'm just saying it in a hypothetical world of saying stupid things. So no encouraging people to do that. Please don't ever tell anybody I said it, because I'll tell you then that you're a liar. But I have 2 Avon perfumes that people love on me. Heck yeah. Like I said, it reminds me when I was a kid. My mom actually worked for Avon for a while when I was really small. And then as well, I think my aunt did too. So they did the job done. You guys ever remember QVC? I don't know if you guys ever remember that when you were young, especially depending on what country you're from. But I was literally telling a friend of mine the other day that when I do this and I stand in front of fragrances and talk about this with you guys, it makes me feel like a QVC person. If you don't know what that is, here in the United States, there used to be this thing. It was like late at night and early in the morning, like even South Park made fun of this, where old folks would like constantly be buying just a bunch of junk they shouldn't have. Because there's like these turd monkeys wearing like really just cheap looking button down shirts and pants and stuff. And they were just constantly selling jewelry and junk to people. And they're like, dude, I used to fall asleep to QVC. Yeah, I did too. Like, you'd wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and if it wasn't the opening intro to the George Lopez show that was on your TV, pretty much you would just have QVC there trying to sell your grandpa like emeralds from the depths of the Loch Ness Lake or some crap like that. And they're like, hey, somehow, I don't know how, but we got 5 million actual rubies from a dragon's butt. And we have it right here, right now. And I trust me, they are the real thing. Our scientists confirm these are the real dragon butt rubies. And you can have like 2 of them for $450. Right? Crazy price. They used to say stuff like that. And the poor old people would just be like, Well, I need those dragon butt rubies. Yeah, I'll call them. And then they'd order them. And the rubies were just crap. They're just like, I don't even know what they were made out of. Like, if you ever played Crash Bandicoot and had the little toys, like the little fake rubies or something, they weren't actually fake, but they weren't worth a lot either. So that's what QVC was, some turd standing in front of products and trying to push it on y'all. That's how I feel a lot of the times when I'm standing in front of these things for a long time and talking to you guys about fragrances. But any fragrance that people say is for winter, but you think can be pulled off in the summer? Oh, 100%. 100%. First and foremost, Versace Eros Flame, Blood Orange, and then the rest of the makeup with that creamy, woodsy scent going on. Then as well, Eros Parfum. Very much so could be worn during the summertime, without a doubt. And the inverse, actually, Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Le Parfum, very good for not just summertime, but also winter as well. I know that might sound strange, but trust me, at least pretend to trust me. Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Mal Le Parfum and Elixir. Again, I know it might not sound like it, but those are not just good for the wintertime, but I think they're actually fantastic summer fragrances as well, especially Le Parfum because of the iris and the lavender. Xerjoff's Naxos, again, because of the honey and the sweetness and the sweet tobacco leaves. Very good summertime fragrance. So there are a handful that people think is just for the wintertime, but trust me, they're good for the summer too. My aunt lost a ton of money to QVC. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. Like, believe me, mine did too. Because I'm telling you, they were coming at you hard. They were like really convincing too. I think that there was one evening where I almost myself wanted to buy something. And I was like, what am I doing? I got to get out of here. But I do know I'm about to reveal something live now that this is years later and nobody can like do anything about it. But I didn't go through with it because they wouldn't let me. They could tell I was a child. But I don't know if you guys remember what Light Brights were, but a long time ago, back in like the early 2000s, there was this cool thing because they did the infomercials and this thing called Light Brights. You just Google search it. I think it's BRITE, Light Bright. But what the heck was that? Somebody just trying to call me? I think somebody just tried to call me. What is happening right now? I don't know. Well, anyway, sorry about that, you guys. But basically, there was a Light Bright thing, and it came on, and I was like, well, that looks really cool. And it was early in the morning. My parents were still asleep. And I was like, I'm going to do something bad because I wanted it a lot. So I went and got my dad's wallet out of his pants. I never did this any other times. I was a bad little man this day because that Light Bright looked really cool. They made it look very nice. And I called the number that was on the TV. And I tried to talk to them. And at first, the person who was talking to me sounded pretty young. And they were just like, I don't know about this. So they said, we got to go get somebody else to talk to you real quick. Because I think they could tell I was a child. And I was like, hey, yeah, I'll buy it. And then I said, I got the information right here. So they got the other person. They told me, kid, we're not going to let you go through this. And they hung up the phone on me. So they lost a customer that day. I could have used my dad's money and get myself a Light Bright. But just saying, those infomercials are dangerous. But then again, nowadays with TikTok ads and all that crap, I'm pretty sure kids are doing that stuff anyways, what have you. But long story short, I didn't actually go through with it, so not encouraging people to do that kind of thing. A man on my job had some Avon. I told him to get away from me because I'm a married woman. He smelled so good. Hey, at least he smelled good. All right, you and the wife are going out on a date. What you reaching for? To be honest with you, definitely again, either Paradise Garden, Le Beau Paradise Garden, or Le Mal Elixir or Le Parfum. Maybe stronger with you Parfum or Intensely. That might be what I go for. Depending on the type of evening it's going to be, maybe also Oud Silk Mood or Grand Soir. But I think more usually Le Mal Elixir is what I go for because my wife really loves it and I do too. I had a Light Bright back in the 80s. Heck yeah, Light Brights were off the chain. Turn on the magical color light. Yes, they were a lot of fun. Mom loved Finger Hut. I don't even know. I actually don't know what that was. So I think I'm glad I didn't. But hold on, guys. This might actually, we might break a little record for my channel real fast. I'm at 57 likes right now. 58. Oh my goodness. I know this is stupid, but I'm kind of getting really excited. I actually do feel like a QVC salesman guy right now because I'm almost of 60 likes. Up until yesterday, I never even got past freaking 30. So this is fun. Having a hangout with buddies later, and hold on, what did my wife say? I wanted those amazing things, but silly paintings like butterflies so badly. Hey, those things look fun though. Having a hangout with buddies later, and I want a fragrance that performs. What fragrance should I wear? My options: YSLY, CDM EDT, VDM, Afnan Modest, or Aqua Dubai. Ooh, That's a good one. It's going to be evening time. I would steer you towards YSL. Why? I'm going to go with Aqua Dubai. Actually, in this particular situation, I'm going to tell you go with Aqua Dubai. Yeah, we hit 61. That's awesome. It makes me very excited. Do you like Iris fragrances? As a matter of fact, yes, Jason. Iris is my favorite profile next to Rose and Bergamot. And my favorite fragrance, Le Mal Le Parfum, is an Irish fragrance. And so is Reflections Man by Almawage, which ironically it's Reflections Man. My wife wears that bad boy. Also, let's not forget the crazy bubble blowing 90s toy. Dude, yes, the toys back then were so ridiculous it ain't even funny. By the way, I'll sit this down real quick because I don't want to reattach it, but I got to put on some chapstick. But you guys feel free to say some more stuff in the chat should you want to do so. Sorry I've been dragging this on so long, by the way. It's just been a lot of fun to talk with y'all. Let's begin chat, baby. By the way, real quick, I don't know why I thought about this. Did you guys see Theo Von did that thing to that dude? That person was getting all on his face and he grabbed him by their neck and like pushed him back. Before I watched the video, people in the article were talking about how like aggressive and crazy it was. And I watched it. I love Theo Von, but I watched it and it was like the softest little thing I ever seen in my life. I was like, is this in slow-mo? And I went and rewatched it like, no, this is full speed. But they were literally making a big deal out of it, like it was some crazy. Apparently, some fan was drunk and all in his grill and holding balloons, and like he just grabbed a person's neck. But this is the speed he did it. That's not threatening. He was getting the person away from him, but just again, random crap. But I saw that this morning, and I was like, "What is happening right now?" One of the best Iris fragrances is Ralph's Club Elixir. Huh. Well, thank you for bringing that up. I actually have not smelled that one in particular. And Sarah, intense Cedrat Wise makes me feel like I'm Gerard Butler's character from Den of Thieves. Lemon candy, cigarette smoke. I can see that. I like the Cedrat Wise intense. It's pretty good. Iris is my favorite also. Do you have the old Dior Homme Parfum? I don't have Dior Homme Parfum, but I do got the Dior Homme Intense. This one's actually really nice. The new Parfum edition. From this, I've got the sample up top actually, and it is really decent. It's almost very lipsticky, but I know they've reformulated and made a newer formulation, and unfortunately, it's not supposedly as decent. Let me see. Finger Hut had that card on it to fill out your orders. Huh, that's crazy. I'm a fan of Theo, and the guy probably deserved it. I don't think he did tight to get mad over nothing. And I agree with you. Like I said, I really like Theo Von myself, and I love watching his podcast. But when I saw the little video, all the people I saw from multiple articles was like, Theo Von attacks a fan. He attacks. And I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? And then I explained it. It's so crazy. He did not let that person get close to him. And like I said, he just like puts his hand on their neck real gently and just kind of slowly walks them away and then stands back all chest out. And I was like, didn't see that coming. But anyway, it was a really good time. Just throwing it out there. Just pointless information, but we're at that part of the night at this point, you guys. Just having fun, hanging out with my buddies. Najee. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name properly. Thank you for coming through here. Really appreciate you stopping by. Again, I've said I was going to end this like 1,000 times, but it's just too much fun. By the way, my wife, if you're still watching in there, I hope you're also having fun hanging out. But yeah, it's a good time when I get to do this with y'all. Honestly, I really want to encourage you guys, if you're out there trying to do a channel yourself, you have to have 50 subscribers, I believe, to live stream. But if you can get yourself to that point, definitely recommend doing live streams because, like, it's, as you can see, it's really cool. And I like to believe that you guys also enjoy talking to each other as well. So it's been great to develop a community. But with that being said, cannot stress enough. Please, you guys, please definitely go watch my actual review videos. Also, if anybody's interested, yesterday, I've seen a couple of you guys have watched and enjoyed. I posted an old video from 1.5 years ago off of my old channel with my wife, where we went and tasted a bunch of Middle Eastern snacks from the local, what was it, a Turkish store? A bunch of cool snacks and stuff in there. So if you guys don't mind checking that out as well, please. It was a good time. That was back when I was doing a lot more editing and stuff. These days, I'm a lot lazier with it. But, you know, it's fragrances. But, yeah, definitely, please, if you guys are more willing to, go check out my actual review stuff. And so tell me the 5 fragrance. Najee, I'm guessing you want to know maybe 5 of my personal favorites or something along those lines. Or I'll tell you like 5 decent ones real quick. I don't know if you want cheap, expensive, or it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to gear you always towards Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Mal Le Parfum or Elixir. Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Paradise Garden, really good choice for the summertime. Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Eau Intense, or Capri in Love. and as well Versace Eros, Parfum, or Flame. Anything along those lines will do you good. Stronger With You, Parfum by Armani, something along those lines. What's your, well, I'm out, brother, hitting hay. Well, I hope you get some good sleep, and I really appreciate you for being here. I send nothing but love to you, man. Andrew, God bless you. Please tell me if you know one. Are there any perfumes that smell like Hugo Boss, Boss Bottle, Absolute? Can't really tell you too many personally that are like in that same vein specifically. So just kind of just up in the air. It really depends if you want to go for something like again, Sauvage Elixir or anything. It's not obviously not quite like it, but something similar in that kind of direction. But still, nothing's quite tickling me right now. If you guys got any ideas, you're more than welcome to share. But I hope you have a wonderful night. And top 3 fragrance houses: Jean Paul Gaultier, Xerjoff, and honestly, even though I have other fragrances, you know what? Jean Paul Gaultier, Xerjoff, and I'm going to say Maison Francis Kurkdjian just because some of my other favorite fragrances of all time come from here. Hindu Kush Mancera, awesome fragrance. Fantastic, fantastic fragrance choice, Yo-Yo. Awesome. Having a bet with my dad, if I win, I get $200. What fragrance should I get with that money? My taste on fragrance is the one I listed before. Interesting. What fragrance should you get with $200? Uh-oh. Okay, tell me real quick your current. I'd say if I had to give me 3 or 4 fragrances that are like absolute favorites that you would really drop on me right now, and then I'll go from there. So just do that for me real fast if you could, please. Amazon is a good place to shop for fragrances. Yes, it is, actually. I want you to make sure you check out who's selling it. Amazon's a decent place to get fragrances if you make sure that the people who are selling it through Amazon are trustworthy, reputable people. Not everybody from there is, and that's something you can kind of look at when you see who's the seller and where's it coming from, what store, and so forth. But Amazon actually, a handful of the dupes and clones I got actually came from Amazon. Walmart has deals. I've heard that ET. First of all, fun name. I'm sure it's not based after the movie, but still makes me think of it. Phone Home. But yes, Walmart actually does have some deals as well, I'm pretty sure. But there's also another ones where you kind of got to be a little bit safe there, a little cheap. Okay, so you seem to like things that have like a little bit of a citrus vibe to it. So something in that kind of realm. Honestly, just to be straight with you here, I'm going to keep pushing this one. If you got $200 and you don't get Versace Eros Flame, I highly recommend you get Paradise Garden by Jean Paul Gaultier, Le Beau Paradise Garden, especially while they're still selling it, because this is a incredible, strong, powerful performer, but as well, this is sandalwood with coconut and aquatic notes, and it is like the perfect summertime fragrance, and it's $142. So please get your hands on Paradise Garden. This bad boy. Actually, here's a fun fact. So my wife doesn't even know I have this because I have myself a, long story short, don't want to get into it too much, but because of an account that I have through a specific store, I had me as a birthday gift. So I actually got Paradise Garden. And she doesn't know that I got this, and she didn't know that it was coming into the mail. So here it is. And when I come into the other room, I'm going to show it to you. But she does love Paradise Garden. And Le Beau Parfum is also fantastic. But if you get that money, get this bad boy. It's Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Capri and Love Good. It's fantastic, actually. I have it, and it smells like armpits to me. The girls like it. Well, the reason why you probably think it smells that way, to be honest with you, it's probably the patchouli with the black pepper. I can see where you're coming from in that vibe. But it's black pepper, fig, and patchouli for the most part. I like it. It's not my complete style, but I really do enjoy it. And I've also heard that people enjoy it, but it's kind of subjective. It really just depends. But thank you for being here. Xerjoff 21 or Mephisto? Definitely Xerjoff 21 personally, but Xerjoff 23 is my favorite. Because Mephisto is a fantastic freshie. It is, but I prefer 21. But that's just me. But no problem, Segoy. Thank you for dropping through here and asking questions. Like, I really appreciate you guys so very much. But with that being said, I've been jibber-jabbering enough. Been having me a good time hanging out with y'all, shooting the breeze, answering questions and all that stuff. So I guess I'm going to give you guys 2 more questions. I swear this time, 2 more and then we're out of here. Please, if you haven't yet, if you've been having fun, hit the like button. We're all having a good time here. And again, I hate having to be a salesman, but it's a YouTuber thing. I got no choice. I got to ask. But anyway, again, cannot stress enough, please guys, go watch my other videos, my reviews and stuff. That's what really helps the channel. In case you haven't seen, right here on my little analytics page, if you go down to where my YouTube watch hours are for overall, and yes, I know some people might think, "Wah, crybaby." Yeah, well, I want to get paid doing this because I really love doing this and hanging out with you guys, and I'm not getting paid. So here's the reason why I'm not getting paid. If you can see, in the past 365 days, right, y'all, I got 7,068 watch hours. But unfortunately, YouTube has decided up until the past couple of weeks to not really give me credit for my valid watch hours. So it says as of May 16th, I only got 2,269. You just saw my analytics. That's not true. I've got way more than that. But they're not giving me credit for most of my previous watch hours before they sent me my silver play button. So I got a silver play button with my name on it, and I'm not even getting paid. And I know, again, you're thinking, why should I care? Well, that's fine. But if you enjoy hanging out and talking with me and you want to see me get more fragrances, then you got to give me some helpful watch time. And so you guys watching these streams is super helpful, but also watching and sharing my actual review videos helps the most. So I really just, if you like talking with me and you want to come back for for more of these hangouts and stuff during my streams that I do every week, please go watch my actual review videos and watch them as long as you're willing to do so, because the longer you watch them, the better it helps me. Hit the like button and comment and share them around if you're willing to do so, because that really helps me go a lot. And yes, absolutely, it is crazy. 100,000 subscribers, and I'm not even getting paid because they literally. So what happened? Long story short, I started growing. If you go check out my older videos before about 2 months ago, I was getting really good views for the most part, and they started doing pretty well. And I started actually getting pretty decent viewership from specific countries, and my subscribers started shooting up. And then here's what happened. I made the dumbest choice in my entire life, and I really want to tell you younger creators not to do this ever. But basically, as my thing hit like 103,000 subscribers, I said, guess what? They keep emailing me about trying YouTube promotions on stuff from the email Google accounts, from actual people running them. So I was like, okay, this is like growing for me. I got 100,000 subscribers now. Maybe it's like a business and you want to advertise. I did 3 videos. I spent a whopping, I think $15 a piece, something like that. And guess what? It didn't go well at all. The videos got almost no views. I got almost no subscribers from those things that ran an ad. And then when those ads ended, guess what happened after that? My algorithm completely dropped. I got no credit anymore for watch hours from any of the previous videos that didn't even get promotions or nothing run on them. And no longer were but you want to know why that happened? Turns out if you use YouTube promotion on one of your videos and it destroys the watch times and click-through rates on those videos, going forwards, YouTube punishes your channel's algorithm until over time it redevelops. So I had 100,000 subscribers, but my whole entire channel's algorithm completely started from square one. But every time you start a new channel or anything like that, it's completely unfair for you as a creator, because you kind of just hope for the luck of the draw that people will start watching again. So again, I know that none of you guys really give a crap about that. Do you rumble on in your videos as well? Yes, I do. I talk about whatever I want to, Blazing, but thank you for coming through here. Now, for the most part, this isn't even live. This is live. I don't know what you're talking about, but this is a live channel. But anyway, yes, this is my channel. I talk about whatever I would like to talk about, and you don't have to watch. But this has been going for almost 3 hours. It's kind of what we do here. My other videos are between 2 to 10 minutes long, and they're reviewing one single fragrance at a time. But like I said, got a silver play button, still trying to get paid. So if you guys actually go watch my real videos and stuff and show some love on there, it really helps me, because my hours are finally starting to shoot up. They went up like 700 hours in the past 2 weeks. So if you keep helping me out, it means a whole lot for me. What's up, Diego? Super happy to have you here. Definitely not the hardest worker, but I appreciate that. Yeah, it would mean a lot for me if I could start getting paid, because then I could do a whole lot more fragrances and actually do more things you guys want to see me do, and not just whatever I'm able to do. Latafa Kawa is my favorite of the Hawas. It's not Hawas, of the Hamra bunch. You don't need to get Dukan. I've said this before. Stick with Kawa. The original's nice, but the new one that just came out is actually just the same exact thing as the original, but with a slightly different opening notes. That's pretty much it. What else did I miss? I ordered Roja Burlington 18 Parfums de Molly Greenlee, or top 10 fragrances for men. Are they? I never tried a Roja fragrance myself. Greenlee's pretty decent, but it's not necessarily my personal taste. I actually gave my bottle away as a gift, but excuse me, but it is really a nice fragrance. So Diego, I'm super happy to have you here. I appreciate you. I will make this super clear. I stream personally, normally 2 times a week, but I'm going to try to start doing more. Usually Wednesday mornings as well. Now I'm going to try to do Wednesday nights if I can, and then Sunday mornings as well. Sometimes maybe during the week as well, I'll do different times. But for the most part, Wednesday morning, maybe Wednesday evening, and then Sunday morning is what I'm going to go for. And super happy every time I got you guys here. It's awesome, and I appreciate so much. Best fruity fragrance. If you want pure fruity, I would probably steer you towards Herba Pura. I got down at the bottom of Herba Gold by Xerjoff. Really, really good fruity fragrance for the most part. But yeah, Omar, I really appreciate you being here. Let's see. Amouage Pizza? Is that what you said? I'm sorry, buddy. I don't know what you were trying to say there. But also, my phone is now deciding to do a little duty Rudy. Amouage, please. Okay, which Amouage you want me to talk about? I got lots of Amouages here. Thank you for a good live stream. Have a good time. If you are learning Arabic languages and open-minded, Christian literature, read some George's Koda books. Hey, thank you so much, Ivan. I really appreciate you and your suggestions. And you guys, like I said, you're all welcome here every time. I also went to Scent Bar to smell a bunch of fragrances. Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to keep up with the comments because I always want to keep up with y'all. I haven't tried Coach Platinum. Amazing setup and collection. Thank you, Blazing. I really appreciate that. And like I said, you're welcome here anytime. All you guys are welcome here anytime to hang out with me and ask me anything you want. What's my thoughts on Azara, the Most Wanted EDT Intense? I'm not the biggest fan of the Most Wanted line as a whole, but I do think it's pretty good. I think it's Most Wanted by Night or whatever somebody asked you about earlier. I think that's what it was. That was actually pretty decent. I went and tried that out today and liked it. It's an EDP. Yeah. Also got my order on designers. Huh. It makes me happy you guys know each other. Frag store. I actually think I might do that again soon. Me and my wife might go to the niche fragrance store again because we met some really cool people there. And it was pretty awesome. Haven't tried any one of those. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for stopping through. Ooh, I have that weird feeling because I'm so close to 3 hours. I'm almost like, I don't know if you guys are like this, but like sometimes when something's almost to a point, you kind of feel like you just want to go ahead and complete it. I think I might do that. I've got the time. We're super close to 3 hours, so I might as well close it out. Well, with that being, and you know what? I actually just got a message from the company who's making the fragrance that I'm getting made. Let me see this real quick. Your channel will go faster. Very encouraging. Yeah, Sensual Obsessions. I cannot tell you guys enough, please, if you've never heard of them before. So again, it's scent like smelling. SCENTUAL. Sensual Obsessions. These guys are some of the coolest people. They're the only company that's actually sent me something, like actually sent it to me straight up to just generally review. And this is Eagle Star. So it was their take on the Altair and the Liquid Brune situation. And again, as I said before, I was nervous about it because, you know, when people send you stuff, I'm going to tell the truth. If I ever get sent something, if anybody out there is a perfumer and you want me to review something, I'm going to tell you now, you couldn't pay me enough money to lie for you. That just won't happen. I got too much integrity. So if you do want to send me something, don't pay me anything. Just send me the fragrance. And if I like it, I'll be all up over live streams like I've been doing for these guys. If it's well done and as well compliant and legal and safe, and also I think that you've done a good product, I'll be like I said, I'll promote the living crap out of you. So if you are a perfumer and you want me to check you out, if I like it, but if I don't think that it was, if you tell me your information, if it doesn't seem that it was very well regulated, or if it was well regulated, but I just don't like it, but I think it was made well, I will give you credit for that. If I think in general it was just kind of thrown together sludge, I'm just going to tell you personally, but I won't put it out there publicly. So hopefully by me saying that, anybody who's just making crap won't send me nothing anyway. But so when I talk about something, it's because I really love it. And these guys knocked it out of the park. And this is the last time we'll do this because I don't want to waste anymore. But again, check out this atomizer. This is crazy. This is cray. Watch this. Y'all see that? That shoots out like a monster. I love it. So again, Eagle Star by Sensual Obsessions. They're the ones who, they have a feature. I want to throw this out there. On their website, they've got a feature where you can create your own fragrance as well. So you just have to look for create your own, and they're extract de parfum. So they're like 33% fragrance oil. So if you want to make your own fragrance, they have this giant list of notes to pick from. And I'm pretty sure for the tier 1 where you get to choose, and my buddy Carlos, or I think, who was it? Carlos, I think you did it too. But tier 1, you get to pick 6 scent notes. So, and then you get to tell them percentages of how you want it to be. So it's like, I think they do $42 and then a couple dollars for shipping. So yeah, if you're in America, especially $42 and you get to design your own extrait de parfum, that's awesome. And also, I'm pretty sure like when they reached out to me about doing it, it only takes like 2 or 3 weeks to get it in. So definitely, if you want to like make your own fragrance, it's really cool. It's Extrait de Parfum, and I highly recommend you guys go check them out because I was very impressed, and it really made me proud to see what they're doing down there in Florida. So I see what's up with above. Also still working, so you have time. Heck yeah, super happy to have you guys here. Your sponsor, Diego. But let me see here. Is Eros Energy a good fragrance? Do women like it? Well, my wife loves it. Just going ahead and throw this out there. I work with a lot of women, so I do, in fact, ask. They're all different types of people as well, and I like to ask them stuff when I'm making them. I'm actually known around my job. They love it. We joke about it, but I walk up and shove my like wrist in people's faces all the time. Like, what do you think about this? And then throughout the day, as I'm walking by people, I wait to see if they respond, if they can smell me, if they say something. So that's kind of how I also try my fragrances, which I work around actual fragrances being made, especially for candles and stuff like that, and raw essential oils. So when people can smell things on me and around that environment, that means it's really powerful. So like Xerjoff's Opera and Naxos and things like that. Maison Francis, Kurt John's Oud Silk Mood, stuff like that. But even in the break room, I get the opportunity to see how things are. So with that all being said, my wife is the one who I get my main opinions from, and then all the women I work with. So Eros Energy is one of those fragrances that my wife loves, and as well, my buddies at work like IKEA and so forth and Maybelline, they like it a lot when I tried it out. And some people think it's a little too sweet, but I personally recommend getting Eros Energy because it's pretty dang good. Check it out. It's my favorite niche house right now. Who are you talking about, Diego? I might have missed it. Huh. Definitely, please, like if you guys haven't, find me on Instagram, Douglas Moon Fragrance. I'm not mega active on there, but please, please, please go find me on there and send me some of your favorites because I'd love to make a list to continue building on. Favorite niche house is Vicanto. Heck yeah, I'm going to add it. Do you think Bianco Latte leans feminine? Mildly so. I would say that the ratio is probably around 65 masculine, the rest feminine, maybe 70 masculine, the rest feminine. But I will say that because of the way it's like that creamy vanilla waffle cone fragrance, it's very unisexy, but I can say it does have like a little bit of a feminine lean to it, but not too bad. And it's very nice. Obsessions out, that Blueberry Kush and their Black Afghano. Please do. Yeah, check them out. They are fantastic, awesome dudes. Very wonderful people over there. The perfumers doing a great job. And so I very much support them. Like I said, if you guys are like, if anybody out there is a fragrance maker, all kinds of stuff, if you're creative in any kind of way, even if you're a musician or something, I don't know, if you want me to ever check out your stuff, by all means, like I don't do review videos of music or nothing or clothing or anything, but here on my lives, like if you ever send me anything or just like send me links and stuff and I actually get the chance to check it out or what have you, or if you send me any type of materials, like let's say you've written a short story or some junk, I don't know. If you ever send me anything personally because you just want to know what I think about it, I love to, if I really like it, if I don't care for it too much, I will tell you honestly, maybe some like personal but subjective critiques. But if I really like it, I'd love to help you guys out and like push your stuff on here the best I can and give you guys some love and support. So I really appreciate everybody who's come through here tonight. It's been a whole lot of fun. I'm glad I got to do I'm about to finish it off at 3 hours. Whenever I get to do these really long streams, that means that like it's just been a super blast hanging out and talking with y'all. So as we run out the clock, we got these last couple of minutes before we hit the 3 hour mark. Just please, oh please, oh please, let me know if you guys got any more questions before we go. I'm personally very tired at this point. I'm a little binky baby, and I forgot to bring my water bottle in here with me, so my throat's getting a little dry. So, like I said, any other questions about fragrances, any other recommendations you guys have, please feel free to do so. And actually, this is happening right in time, too, because it seems that my microphone's going to be dying pretty soon. Definitely get your nose on the Noir Te Matcha 26, another 13, and Santal. Who's that by? These suggestions, Diego, who are these? What fragrance house is this? Like I said, I didn't see earlier which one you were talking about, but those sound nice. I also just realized that's not the Noir, that's Te. I think it's pronounced Te, but I know it's T. Le Labo. Let me type that in my other phone real quick. Because a couple, you have suggested them. A handful of people have suggested that fragrance house. Are they expensive? I'm probably about to be sad. Well, they're not the cheapest in the world. But it does seem that they've got a discovery set. And it's not the worst ever. Actually, they got a pretty decently large discovery set. How many comes in this? Never allowed. I don't like doing that. So this is 17. Holy cow. So for $107 US on Le Beau's website, you can get 17 fragrance little sample things in a discovery set. That's actually pretty good. So for me personally, I got to see what's up with those screenshotted. Do you have Prada Luna Rosa Ocean? Elias, thank you for asking. I actually used to have that. It wasn't for me personally. It actually smelled just to me personally like something like a hardworking like man's man, like works with his hands like a mechanic or something like that. Or somebody who does like construction would wear. Very nice smell. Just smell like that kind of like, does like manual labor type of, but still like a nice dude type of fragrance. So I actually literally gave it to one of our best buddies who's a plumber. He's a really awesome guy. But definitely it's not a bad fragrance. Just wasn't my personal taste. But thank you, Elias or Elias, for coming through and asking. But yeah, they're pretty expensive. So I like when companies have discovery sets like this, though, because as well with Mind Games, one of the things me and my wife, when we went to that niche fragrance shop the other day, they had it's 10 cents for $75. So you get 10 of the little sample thingies and a discovery set for $75. So, and you're absolutely welcome, Elias. Thank you for coming through. Like I said, anytime anybody wants to come through and ask questions, you're more than welcome to do so. But most definitely, 17 fragrance in a discovery set for $100. That's actually fantastic. I wonder what holy cow. I think it also says you get to choose. You do. You get to personalize and choose which fragrances come in here. This is really awesome. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm not going to do it anytime soon, but that actually is like super cool. So look forward to doing that at some point in time. But yeah, like I said, thank you guys so much for dropping through. I'm going to show you guys real quick to any of you guys who are still here. So on my page, these videos right here, let me show you. If you go to my channel, which hopefully I can do real fast, this is the stuff I'm always talking about. So if you go to my channel, the Douglas Moon Fragrance channel, and then you hit videos, all these guys right here, my actual normal reviews that I do. So again, I did Initio's Side Effect. I did Amawage's Interlude. Which one is that? The original Interlude Man. Wait, is that Black Iris? Whatever. And then Guerlain's Extreme. I did Hautane versus Oud for Greatness. Spice Bomb Extreme. Sauvage Parfum. All that stuff. Untold by Club de Nuit. I recently did Interlude 53 versus Interlude Man. And then me and my wife trying Middle Eastern snacks. But I've got a whole bunch of review videos on here. And these are the ones I'm talking about. I did a comparison of Green Irish Tweed to Davidoff Cool Waters. I did a full review of Killian Angel Share, which is the best Valentino fragrance. So I did a whole bunch of them. Red Tobacco Intense. Those are the videos that if you guys are like my channel and are willing to give me support, please go watch those videos. Please don't just watch 20 seconds because like I said, it kills the algorithm. You got to watch like as much of it as you're willing to do. And then drop me a comment or something. Tell me your thoughts. So again, if you like the channel, please go do that. And also thank you so much, Sirkin, for coming through. Which Louis Vuitton fragrance should I get? Personally, I don't recommend buying them. They're very expensive for what it's worth. But if you're going to get one, get Ombre Nomad. Personally, that's what I'm going to say. Yeah, I own 2 Douglas, another 13 in Santal. Heck yeah. But like you said, they're really good. I think Team Matcha sounds probably good. I really love a good matcha scent. But I appreciate you guys coming through Al Hamaran Aqua Dubai. I don't have that myself, but I do know it's supposed to be a really good fragrance, Omar. Thank you for asking. But the matcha one by that company, I really want to try. I love Lang Lang and stuff like that. So if it has anything along those lines, excuse me. If you're into Oud, Ombre Nomad's a good choice. Yeah, Diego, by the way, so if anybody's ever in my chats and you see Diego, this man knows like a lot about fragrances, a lot of really good, interesting niche perfumery. So please trust his opinion. And as always, as I conclude this, if you guys are ever here, and like I said, and you're new here and you've never, like if there's something I don't know, there's a lot of wonderful people here in this community that I'm trying to build. Because again, it's the Douglas Moon Fragrance channel, but it's not just about me. It's you guys as well. So if anybody's ever here and you guys like have questions, but I can't answer you, but somebody else can, if you see something and I say I don't know, but you do have an answer, please feel free to help each other out. It brings me immense joy when you guys get to support each other and we're all part of this together. Yeah, Diego definitely knows his stuff, and I'm so grateful that he's here and a part of this because it means the world to me. Lane 49 is a beautiful fragrance, Douglas. Very custard. Ooh, I do love me a good custard fragrance. I'm known for liking me some sweet stuff. That's kind of my general overall, like my passion when it comes to fragrances. I love a good sweet thing for the most part, something beautiful. I wish that freaking Bleu de Chanel parfum was cheaper because I'd like to burn through this bad boy. As you can see, I've used it quite a bit, but unfortunately, it's freaking $200 for a bottle, and that ain't something I'm going to be able to replace anytime in the near future, especially due to the circumstances. But it is what it is. Anyway, like I said, it's been super awesome having you guys come through here. I'm finally going to close this out. I will say that I'm going to end it with one more little prayer because for anybody who is stopping through recently or what have you. So again, for anybody one more time who don't know, everybody's welcome here, no matter who you are, or what you believe. I'm personally Christian, but that's okay. You don't have to stay here, or you can stick around. Whatever. About to pray one more time. But Father in heaven, thank you so much. Again, I already prayed earlier, but I'm glad to say thanks again to these wonderful people who are watching. In the name of Jesus, I just welcome all these folks here and send my love and pray for the peace to come into these people's hearts, and that they just have the remembrance that they have purpose and meaning in this life, especially if they're going through hard times right now. Like, Lord, I just lift all these wonderful people up to you. And this has been an amazing stream. And there's been moments where I felt like crying because there's just been beautiful, kind words coming from these sweet people. And again, like, no matter who they are, where they come from, what's going on in their life, like, I just pray for them, God, they come to know you and experience the fullness of beauty and grace and love in this life. And just thank you so much for your endless grace and mercy and beautiful opportunities you give us to fail, to succeed, to grow through pain and struggles into the beauty and the wonder. So thank you, Lord, in the name of Jesus. I lift all these beautiful people up, and I welcome them here anytime. And I know you're watching over them. And like I said, I just pray they come to know you and get to feel that beautiful peace. So in your name, Jesus, thank you. Bless these people. Amen. So thank you guys for coming through. It means the world to me that you're here so very much. You're welcome here anytime, no matter what. I have Bleu de Chanel parfum. It's good. Found at Honda's for $181. That's awesome. Like I said, if you guys don't believe what I do, or if you do, that's totally okay. It don't matter to me. You're always welcome here. Fragrance World has a Bleu de Chanel parfum clone. No, well, thank you so much for the suggestion, buddy. Well, anyways, it's been fantastic. I'm truly getting out of here now. So I will see you guys later. Please, like I said, if you got time, go watch some of my other videos and just drop some love over there. But Andrew, aka Douglas Moon, I'll see you guys next time. I appreciate y'all so very much.